for their 100th victory of the season. The Kansas City Royals beat the Chicago White Sox 5-3 to clinch home field advantage in an AL Division Series. The Athletics halted the Los Angeles Angels' 7-game winning streak 8-7. The Braves blanked the Nationals 2-0. The Cubs rocked the Reds 10-3. The Diamondbacks down the Rockies 3-1. The Giants blanked the Dodgers 5-0. That was at A&T Park. Coming up now on 19 minutes after the hour on America in the Morning. Well, it's the first day of the final fiscal quarter of the year and a time for Wall Street to turn over a brand new leaf. We'll check on that and more when we return. That's right after these few messages.
When the work you love involves actual hard work, you need a John Deere Gator utility vehicle. The powerful Gator XUV 825i has a 1,400-pound payload and seating that accommodates up to 4 people, so you can get whatever and whoever, anywhere they need to go. Visit your John Deere dealer today. Live for what you do. Go Gator.
You can find Atlantic Tractor on the web at atjd.net or at myjohndeeredealer.com. Atlantic Tractor, we live it.
Geico applauds your inner ride leader.
An enthusiastic engine rev goes out to the biker in you who leads the pack. Even if that pack is a party of one, you're still a leader to Geico. To prove it, Geico will insure your motorcycle with great rates and 24/7 customer service. And with Geico by your side, you're never cruising solo, which means you've just been nominated as a real ride leader. Congrats! The smell of fine leather and trailblazing is in your future.
Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save.
I spend my days helping others. It's rewarding, just not always financially. So I got TIAA CREF. They were founded to help people like me meet our financial goals. They've got so many industry accolades, it's unreal. I like taking care of people. Sometimes that even includes myself.
Intelligent investing for the long term. Just what you'd expect from a company that's created to serve and built to perform. Visit TIAA.org. TIAA CREF Individual Institutional Services, LLC. This testimonial is an act of betrayal. Investing involves risk. Individual results will vary.
When the leading antihistamine and Nasacort go nose-to-nose, Nasacort wins, stopping more of the chemical responses that can cause your nasal allergy symptoms. And when you stop more causes, you get 24-hour relief from sneezing, an itchy runny nose, even congestion. It's prescription-strength medicine available over the counter. Nasacort Allergy 24-hour. Stops more of what makes you miserable. Use as directed.
21 minutes after the hour now on America in the Morning, and time to check in on business. Here's CNBC's Tom Busby.
Good morning, Michael. It's a brand new day, a brand new month, and a brand new quarter for Wall Street, and a chance for stocks, which right now are down for the year, to start making some gains. And some key economic data points out today will help drive trading, including new claims for jobless benefits. They may rise. An index of manufacturing may show another slight decline last month. And thanks to big Labor Day incentives and markdowns, automakers are expected to report another strong month of car and pickup sales. Today, the retail industry starts using new chip-enabled credit cards. Now, if stores don't have the right equipment for them, they will be responsible for any losses due to fraud, not the banks or the companies that issue the cards. Target begins matching prices for more than 24 online rivals today, including Walmart and Amazon. And Amtrak will begin charging fees for excess baggage. Carry on more than 2 personal items and 2 bags weighing a total of 150 pounds, and you'll be fined $20 per item over that limit.
Markets in Hong Kong and mainland China are closed for the holidays. I think it's the Moon Festival time there, but other Asian stocks were up in Thursday trading. Japan's Nikkei 225 has jumped 2.2% as the yen weakened against the dollar, giving a boost to exporter stocks. European markets are up now in early trading, and benchmark U.S. crude was up 69 cents at $45.79 a barrel. Speaking of oil, Tom, you mentioned that motor vehicle sales for September are coming out today, so what should we be looking out for?
Well, the headline number on sales for September should be big, expected to put the industry on track to sell more than 17 million units this year for the 5th month in a row. Many analysts are forecasting sales of 17.3 million vehicles. That would be the best year in nearly a decade. Of particular interest today, though, is the growing battle among Detroit's Big Three over sales of pickups, with the Dodge Ram and Chevy and GMC trucks gaining some ground on the Ford F-150, the best-selling vehicle in the nation. Also, analysts looking for any impact on Volkswagen and Audi after a week of no sales of those clean diesel cars.
Thank you, Tom Busby. 23 past the hour now on America in the Morning. The Airbnb business is booming all across the country, but Los Angeles may be leading the way and applying some regulation to this new kind of commerce. Here's Jim Roop.
Billions are made around the world through short-term rentals known as Airbnbs. So many people are getting into the lucrative game that in Los Angeles it's become a real problem.
Short-term rentals are not allowed.
LA City Councilman Mike Bonin says that's the first problem.
But there is absolutely zero enforcement.
That's the second problem. Another problem many see is that in a city where affordable housing is hard to find, renters are being turned away in favor of the short-term vacationers. Then there are those who do have apartments, such as Carlos Camara. At the complex in which he lives, there are some long-term renters doing some short-term renting of their own.
I now live in essentially a hotel. And before, when I moved in about 12 years ago, I lived in a really nice apartment building.
The first of 3 public meetings were held Tuesday night, so city leaders can get a sense of what to do next, how to balance capitalism with current law, some in favor.
Airbnb has changed my life. People come and stay with me. It's not a mystery. They see my profile and reviews. I see theirs.
We would like to have no Airbnbs.
Many others against.
It's a very dangerous situation.
They are upset about their so-called transient neighbors.
People are coming here from all over the place.
A house literally looks like it's built to be a motel.
I am a victim of an Airbnb host who rents their house like a hotel.
Councilman Bonin says the city wants to figure out a way to make everyone happy, the reason for these public listening sessions.
Then the planning department will draft an ordinance, and then the public will get to weigh in again.
Cities all across the country are grappling with this issue. Jim Roop, Los Angeles.
25 past the hour. The Buzz from Oklahoma next on America in the Morning. Back after these messages.
Advance Auto Parts knows what makes a car guy a car guy. It's working through the unexpected surprises that spring up with every project. It's character, and it isn't rattled by a little thing like a dead battery, especially when you can get a new one online at advanceautoparts.com and pick it up in store just 30 minutes later. We'll even install it for free, so you can get back to fixing faster. Advance Auto Parts, for guys who love getting under the hood.
Most vehicles, most locations. See store for details.
Geico applauds your inner happy camper.
A merit badge of awesomeness goes out to the part of you that wants to put the recreation in recreational vehicle. The part of you that packs up everything and everybody in the RV and says, let's get this show on the road. Because Geico has specialized agents who help save money on more than just car insurance. Geico will insure that entire RV, so you can get the s'more making, poison ivy dodging, same song singing, ghost storytelling, campfire building, best time you ever had with your family show on the road.
Geico for your RV. See how much you could save.
Hi, everybody. It's Jim Weller, and you're invited to tune in Weller Does Delmarva this Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. We're actually going to be broadcasting live from Weller's Utility Trailers on Route 13 in Bridgeville. In fact, we're going to open the store early, and we're going to have free coffee and donuts and juice, and you are invited to tune us in, or better yet, just come on by and say hi and see what Made From Scratch Radio looks like, meet the fine folks from Weller's Utility Trailers, browse our showroom and see what we have to offer, and also you can watch the show at WellerDoesDelmarva.com.
Be sure to play the ultimate football pool on our website, Delaware105.9.com. Presented by Nicola Pizza on the Avenue, Upper Deck Sports Bar. Each week, our top scorer will win a $30 gift certificate courtesy of Nicola Pizza on the Avenue, Upper Deck Sports Bar, offering 2 stories of great dining with an excellent view of downtown Rehoboth. Enjoy great food and drink specials during all pro and college football games, and bet, watch, and win with the Delaware Sports Lottery now at Nicola Pizza on the Avenue, Upper Deck Sports Bar. And be sure to play the ultimate football pool every week at Delaware105.9.com.
Delaware 105.9.
It was the buzz versus the fuzz in Oklahoma. Jeremy Roth explains that.
Talk about a buzzing nightmare. Sheriff's deputies in Oklahoma were trapped in their patrol cars after a semi crashed and spilled thousands of angry honeybees on I-35. Beekeepers recovered some of the bees, but then had to set the remaining hives on fire when the bees got aggressive after dark. Yeah, I'm sure they were real friendly during the day. I'm Jeremy Roth.
This is October 1st, the 274th day of the year. There are 91 days left. Today's birthdays: former President Jimmy Carter is 91. Actress-singer Julie Andrews is 80. Actress Stella Stevens is now 77 years old. This is America in the Morning. Our producer is Tom Delac, associate producer and webmaster Paul Hill. Senior producer is Kevin Delaney. We are at jimbotalk.net, and you can follow Jim on Twitter. Pick him up at Jimbo Talks. I'm Michael Toscano, filling in for Jim Bohannon, and this is Westwood One.
Are you planning a wedding reception, family reunion, community or corporate event and need a place to host it? With seating for 50 to 400 people, the Cheer Community Center in Georgetown provides the space and comfort you desire. The banquet hall can be broken down into 2 or 3 smaller spaces to create a ceremony, reception, or private party that is sure to wow your guests with beauty and elegance. In-house catering by the Lighthouse Nook offers convenient and affordable menu options. Call Cheer Community Center at 302-854-9500 or visit cheerde.com.
Choosing a bank is an important decision and one people don't like to make too often. It involves consideration of convenience, cost, and last but not least, trust. Community Bank Delaware wants to earn your trust. They're locally owned and managed, and all of their policy and banking decisions are made right here in Sussex County. Stop in and see for yourself the difference a community bank can make. Community Bank Delaware in Lewis and Rehoboth. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Local news first, then CBS News. Every hour, on the hour. Whatever happens next, happens here. We're Delaware 105.9.
Let's go to the newsroom. Kelly Steele is here. Kelly, good morning.
Good morning, Danny. Hurricane Joaquin has strengthened to a Category 3 storm, and it's bearing down on the central Bahamas today. At last check at 5 o'clock this morning, the National Hurricane Center in Miami said Joaquin was centered about 65 miles east-southeast of San Salvador. Winds have already been clocked at 120 miles per hour. Forecasters say hurricane conditions are expected to reach portions of the central Bahamas in the next few hours. That storm is then expected to head toward the east coast of the United States. Here on the east coast, Sussex County Emergency Operations Center gearing up, as you might expect, for the potential impact of Hurricane Joaquin. County officials are on alert. They're ready for the potential of a 1-2 punch. CBS News covers the nation and the world next. News time, 5:31. Good morning.
CBS News update. With 120-mile-per-hour sustained winds, Hurricane Joaquin is expected to hit the central Bahamas, bringing a storm surge today into tonight.
We expect Joaquin to gradually turn more northward and speed up a little bit, and then move generally northward towards the mid-Atlantic coast of the U.S. as we go into the weekend and early next week. But there's a lot of uncertainty in the track forecast.
Michael Brennan's at the National Hurricane Center. Experts expect this to intensify to a Category 3 storm, even without this hurricane threat.
Outside of Joaquin, there's still going to be a very large area, very heavy rainfall across portions of the East Coast as we go through the weekend, separate from Joaquin's impact. So still be some dangerous weather there.
Margie Latrella touched down in Tampa. She came from New Jersey.
I've been on my phone and on the news constantly because I have to fly back home on Sunday.
Another passenger, Chris Anderson, keeping his fingers crossed.
Hopefully we just get out of here safely on Sunday, not have any impact with the weather, and get home safe.
CBS News Update. I'm Dave Barrett.
When DuPont Pioneer says we're with you from the word go, what's that mean? It means we're putting together the total package that totals up at harvest.
Well, we start with high-performance trait packages.
Pioneer brand corn products combine world-class genetics with advanced seed treatments and tested and trusted traits to bring you elite performance.
Our hybrids are bred to yield.
Bring in the agronomic insights and unmatched service and support from your local team, and you'll get results that add up in your fields.
We help put the right products on each acre.
Pioneer, with you from the word go. When DuPont Pioneer says we're with you from the word go, it can mean cashing in on bigger profit opportunities with Pioneer brand Plenish High Oleic soybeans.
Our Plenish soybeans can put more money in your pocket.
They offer a processor-paid premium on every bushel.
Growers like their bin-busting yield potential.
Pioneer genetics, research, and local yield trials help Plenish soybeans produce big yields. Talk to your Pioneer sales professional or go to pioneer.com/plenish. Pioneer, with you from the word go.
At Delmarva Roofing and Coating, we specialize in commercial roofing. We work directly with your architect to guarantee the most high-quality, long-lasting, and energy-efficient roof system for your business. From repairs and replacements to acres of new construction, Delmarva Roofing has the manpower and experience to get the job done. Our industry-leading Conklin white roof system reflects the sun's heat to save you money. For over 20 years, Delmarva Roofing has been the trusted and trained expert. Trust your business to Delmarva Roofing and Coating.
Don't let the ghost of credit past keep you from the car you deserve. Have a job clearing $350 a week? We want to improve your credit today. At Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, take $12,000 off with any trade on select new 2015 Ram trucks in stock. Crew cabs, 4x4s, even the Ram 1500. Take $12,000 off of MSRP. And Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram will take any trade, even if you still owe thousands on it. New 2015 Jeep Renegade Sport, just $249 per month lease. We want to approve your credit today.
And remember, Jim wants to see you in the coolest small town in America, Berlin, Maryland.
Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Old Ocean City Boulevard, Berlin, Maryland.
Qualified buyers, credit may affect terms. Balance of trade carried over to new loan. Discount based on MSRP of $47,835 with $4,500 factory rebates to dealer and $7,500 dealer discount. Model number DS6H98. Offers not in combination.
Feast your ears from 3 to 5 every Saturday on Delaware 105.9 when the Rehoboth Foodie takes a behind-the-scenes peek at the business of eating here on Delmarva. Sip and Bite with Rehoboth Foodie features chefs, restaurateurs, and noted foodies who will fill you in on all the great and maybe not so great restaurants in the area, plus the latest news on food and fun. Sip and Bite with Rehoboth Foodie is brought to you in part by Sodell Concepts and their 8 Delaware restaurants, including Fish On in Lewis, Lupo de Mare and Papa Grande's in Rehoboth Beach, Blue Coast Northeast Seafood Kitchen and Matt's Fish Camp near Bethany Beach, and Papa Grande's Coastal Taqueria and Catch 54 in Fenwick Island. So join me, the Rehoboth Foodie, for a Sip and a Bite on Delaware 105.9 every Saturday afternoon from 3 to 5. You can also stream the show live simply by logging on to Delaware1059.com. It's a feast for the ears.
Remember Jared Morris today at 3 on Delaware 105.9.
The Dan Gaffney Show begins its broadcast day from the opulent new studios of the Delmarva Broadcasting Company's Delaware 105.9 inside the Gaffney Broadcasting Complex. And now, join us as we stand for the playing of our national anthem.
That's a little goofy, especially when you're going into the national anthem.
Weather is becoming more and more an issue here that we've been talking about, and how have you, or how do you think? Shouldn't I have practiced the question before I started the show? Shouldn't I have practiced the question, Kelly? I'm supposed to practice the question. I'm supposed to script out the question.
Take 2, Danny. Take 2. Let's go again. 3,
Oh.
2, 1.
I've only had one cup of coffee because Kelly went to the Keurig machine. She came back to my office at about an hour ago, panicking that we should not use...
No, I was not panicking.
Yeah, I think there was some panic involved.
I was informing you. Well, the panic came in because I have had no coffee.
Oh, Kelly, I'm going to go brew coffee anyway in a minute because here's what happened. Kelly came in and she was in a panic that because there was green... She said there was green slime in the bottom of the Keurig water container.
Right. See, that doesn't happen to my Keurig at home because I run vinegar through there like every 2-3 weeks, and it cleans it out. But we don't do that here, so the green slime builds up. But then you pointed out that it's no different than drinking your kumbaya drink.
Right. It's like having a kombucha. With greens in it. There's something growing in it. It doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing.
Look, all I know is...
But you washed it.
Well, I did. I tried to get
it rinsed and ready to go?
Well, yes. It's all, it's still some green slime in there.
How is there green slime in it?
Because there's a little filter thingy, little teeny tiny filter, and the green slime is caught in that filter thingy, and I can't get it out.
And you're sure that's on the inside?
Yes. Look, the important thing is here, I have had no coffee. That's the important thing. What are we going to do about that?
It's a problem. And then it's messed me up already. I came on with, I couldn't even articulate my question about do you trust weather forecasts?
Right.
Now I said it right.
Do
you trust weather forecasts? 839-1059. That's actually my topic for you to get involved in, but we're also talking about real life here this morning, and we have our own first world problems. There's apparently some green thing in the fancy machine we have out here. That can't happen. That can't happen.
Don't mess with the coffee.
There's some people around here that aren't going to go with that.
No. When the coffee's messed up, it just throws the whole world cycle off kilter.
Do you want to hear what happened with coffee with me the other day? The two biggest people in this company, the CEO of the entire operation, and then the president of broadcasting of the operation. I was in a meeting at the mothership upstate with both of them, and the president says, "Let me make a cup of coffee." And he goes to his personal private office Keurig, and he's making coffee. And you know how it comes out in one stream?
Right.
He has his cup. He's talking to me at the same time he's doing his coffee ritual because he packs his own Keurig basket. And for some reason, when he put his cup down and started brewing as he's talking to me, it starts spewing out in like 7 streams.
Great.
Like a shower head.
There was probably green slime caught in his machine, too.
It was like a shower head. It was, instead of one little stream coming down, it was coming down like a shower head. And the president says, "Hey, Dan, I think we got a problem here." And he's got his cup, and he's trying to move the cup. He has to move the cup up to where it's draining so that he catches all 5 streams into the top of the thing.
Look, anybody that knows radio and TV people, we are coffee addicts.
We have to abandon this thing because it's spraying this liquid, right? So he goes, "I'll tell you what, let's go to where the peons make their coffee." So we go over to, he didn't say that, but we went over to the lounge area where they have another big Keurig. And who is at that machine but the CEO?
We like our coffee.
The president's boss is there. So you go in, and the CEO looks at me. I just tried to help the president with his Keurig problem, and it's coming out like a shower head. I was unable to help. I go to the CEO. He's trying to make coffee. He goes, "This thing's all in French." And the digital display was in French. He pressed the wrong button and he went to French. And I said, I don't want to be smart here, but I think the cup size is going to be the same in French or whatever. So go ahead and press that and, whatever. So we...
Danny to the rescue.
But anyway, these darn Keurigs
What's wrong with
They're
us?
a pain.
And now I come in here and they're all breaking down at once, Kelly, is what I'm trying to tell you. Now we got the green slime. It's terrible around
After I came to your office in, said panic, I call screener Phil. And he has not texted me back. And my direction to Phil was stop and either buy some cups of coffee or a bottle of vinegar. I have not heard back from Phil. So this could get ugly real quick. This morning could go downhill quicker.
And all I said was do this. Take the container of water. Pour a tiny bit of bleach in the bottom.
Well, I don't have any bleach.
Isn't there bleach under the sink?
Oh, I didn't. Why would we have bleach here?
There should be bleach. Okay. And everyone's home should have a little container of bleach for just such a... You pour a little bleach in there.
Sure, I'm going to be responsible for pouring bleach, and then someone will blame me for not cleaning it properly. They will get sick. I will cause a death.
Just put the bleach in there, let it sit for a few seconds, swish it around, rinse it out, and you're done. It's killed the green.
I will.
Because it's not, the green is not in the guts of the thing. It's down in the bottom of the water reservoir.
Well, it's kind of in the guts because it's in the filter thingy. It's in the little meshy filter
But
piece.
in the container.
Yes, it's all down. It was around the sides. Yeah, in there, in the bottom. It was gross.
I'm going to go make coffee and drink it anyway. I don't care.
All right.
What's that?
It's
the SCOBY. The Keurig SCOBY is right. Growing in there.
Dan Gaffney's going to come to work tomorrow with hair growing all over his face from the SCOBY.
Anyway, I just want to say we have a major Keurig coffee malfunction across the entire network. Well, we were meeting about tearing down silos between different parts of our organization. What was really happening was the Keurigs were being torn down. And there needs to be collaboration and synergy between our Keurig machines company-wide. Somehow.
Petch is the man.
What does he have,
Petch
vinegar?
from Eagle 97.7 just came in. Somehow he got all the green slime out of that green filter thing. He just showed it to me. We can now make coffee.
How did he do that?
I don't know. I asked him. He wouldn't tell me. He just winked and he moved on.
All right.
Petch is my man.
All right, I'm going to go
Petch
make
is my
coffee.
hero.
Now you got to tell Phil to go. He doesn't have to go buy the vinegar.
Well, Phil, if you're listening, still buy the vinegar. But don't buy the coffee.
It's like ridiculous. This whole thing is like ridiculous.
I feel better now. I can resume my work.
Next meeting. Dan, let's go over an air check. Here's October 1st at 5:30 to 5:45. Let's listen to this segment and see if you think it worked with the audience. Do you really think you need to be,
coffee talk? It's important
doing all of this talk? Where's the audience in this? How are you engaging the audience here? Do you think this worked? This segment, this bit, they say to me, do you think this worked? And I'll be listening to it, and I'll go, I don't know.
I think it's important.
It's important. We had to have coffee. You can't do a radio show without coffee. That's all I'm saying. All righty. Good morning, Delaware 105.9.
Good morning, Dan, Kelly, and everyone.
How are you?
I am doing fine this morning. Hey, talking about coffee, I got a cup right here on my desk now. You know the best way to clean that coffee pot?
What is the best way?
Use a pressure washer. Clean it all up. Turn it upside down and blow it out.
Is that what you do?
No, I'm just kidding.
It would work, though.
It would. So how y'all doing this morning? Fine?
Hey, excellent. In all seriousness.
Good.
Are you trusting weather forecasts more today, the same today, or less today than previously?
Less.
Why?
I don't put no trust in no forecaster because they don't really know what's going on to start with, and whoever's giving them the information about the weather is giving them wrong information anyway.
That's my topic for everyone to answer the same question. Are you trusting, in general, not the current forecast today, but in general, are you trusting weather forecasts more, less, or the same than you have in the past? Here, Dave, let me tell you something. Let me tell the audience what we're really talking about here.
Yes.
Here's the deal. I have watched weather, not just the weather, but weather forecasting every day in my job for 30 years, okay?
Yes.
So it's not that I'm a weather forecaster, but I watch forecasters because I rely on them to give accurate information to impart to my audience, okay?
Yes.
What I have noticed over the years, and I see different forecasts, the National Weather Service, the AccuGuys, guys, the whatever, all these different services, okay, and all these different sources, and you kind of come to rely on certain ones.
Yes.
However, over the last, I would say, 2 years, maybe 3, but 2 at least, I have noticed that the forecast, while you would think it would be getting more accurate with technology, etc., the forecast seems to be off target and wrong.
Yes.
More than ever before. Now, this is coming from someone who has watched this every day for his entire life. Forecasts have always had a certain percentage of failure, and it's not a perfect science. You could be right, you could be wrong. The wrong has been more wrong in my mind in the last couple of years than it's ever been.
I can believe that.
And I wonder if I'm the only one noticing this, because I don't every day keep a score sheet. Maybe I should. I don't keep a score sheet. It's just a feeling I have. Major snowstorms are like the boy who cried wolf. Rain out, washout weekends never happen.
No.
Major storms that are hyped sometimes seem to disappear. Some of the forecasting with Sandy was a debacle. So we still have to rely on the most reliable ones, the most accurate ones we can, and we will.
Yes.
But in general, are you finding the forecast, you already said it, you're not trusting it, right?
No, definitely not. The weather 40, 50 years ago was nothing like this. I mean, a storm would last maybe 2 or 3 days, it was over. Today, seems like the storm is never over anymore. It's just getting worse and worse and worse.
And because of the forecasting?
It's because of who's controlling the weather is what it is.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
Yes.
Well, listen, Dave, thanks for your call. I'd like to know what you think in general about weather forecasts. Not about who's controlling the weather, but in general weather forecasts. Because we have a lot of things, and we're trying to impart to you the most accurate information we can. And we're really, really doing a good job. But I'm just saying, in general, I have never seen such vitriol directed at like TV weathermen than I have in the last couple of years. Because I think there's this feeling that they're just getting it wrong more often. What do you think? A lot of the data that even the private forecasters use come from government sources. It's possible that, isn't it possible that the same people who run the IRS and the same people who have you wait on hold and press a bunch of numbers to try and get customer service at some government agency, these are the same people that are giving the data to the weather forecasters, right? Same organization. Is it possible they're just screwing up or the computers are outdated? Have you noticed we rely on European computer models more so than our own? If you're really deep into watching weather forecasts, the Euro models seem to be a lot more accurate. We can't even keep up with our computer modeling. What's going on? Good morning, Delaware 105.9.
Good morning, Dan. It's the amazing Keith from Bridgeville.
What is your general feeling about forecasting? Has it been less accurate, the same, or more accurate in your opinion?
Well, in my backyard, I got one of those weather. Casts the weather perfectly every time.
What is it? One of those rocks on a string?
Yes.
Tell us how that works. You hang a rock on a string in the backyard, and tell us how that tells you the weather.
Well, if it's hot, that means it's sunny. If it's cold, it means it's cold. If it's covered in white stuff, it means it's snowing. If it's wet, it's raining. If it's, moving back and forth, it's windy. It predicts the weather perfectly every time.
The weather rock. I've seen those before. People have them hanging up in their yard. It is the most accurate forecaster. Yes, thank you so much. Keith in Bridgeville. Yes, the weather rock. It's on a string. It's hanging from an arm. He's exactly right. If it's moving, it's windy. If it's wet, it's rainy, etc. Hello, Delaware 105.9. Good morning.
Good morning, Dan.
Hi, Aaron.
Yes. I work outside all day, every day, so I'm kind of my own forecaster. I don't trust them. I always look at the radar and see what's coming this way from other states and stuff. So I think NOAA is the best way to go.
I use NOAA in the mix, especially for hurricanes, because you really don't have too many other sources. The National Weather Service forecast is pretty close for hurricane watching.
Yeah.
I have three sources that I rely on, especially in big storms, which are approaching us. And that is AccuWeather, which we brand as Delaware 105.9 Weather Center, truth be told. The National Weather Service, right, which you're mentioning, for hurricanes, the National Hurricane Center. And the third is sort of an amalgamation of proprietary sources that I kind of put together and see what they're all saying and kind of join them together. But those are the three things I look for. And you find, look, you just do it yourself. Just look at the picture of the radar, then you know, right?
That's it.
Don't listen to the hype. The hype is huge, I think.
Well, the radar shows you what's going on, when it's going on. So, hey, on the coffee thing, real quick, I always keep a little can of freeze-dried with me just in case.
As an emergency break glass in case of emergency thing. I get it.
That's it. You don't even need water. You just put it straight between your cheek and gums, and it'll wake you right up.
You do it a pinch of freeze-dried. All right. Yeah, man, just a pinch of freeze-dried between your cheek and gum. Susan Monday is back at the Cottage Cafe in Bethany Beach today. Her live broadcast from 10 to 3. She's going to be there. $5.99 bar lunch specials at the Cottage with Susan Monday in Bethany. All right. We do have the area's most accurate weather. The most accurate we can give you, right? Here's Steve Williams.
A flood watch in effect beginning this evening. For today, windy and cooler, rain, high 65. Rain tonight, heavy at times, flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas, low 59. For tomorrow, windy and rain, some of that could be heavy. Again, watch for some flooding and high 63. Tomorrow night, windy, periods of rain, some heavy, watch for flooding, and a low at 59. Hurricane Joaquin may affect the area beginning on Sunday morning. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
The comments, views, and opinions expressed on the air at Delaware 105.9 are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and not those of staff, management, or advertisers at Delmarva Broadcasting Company.
Do I live on the water? Sure. When it rains. Look, I own a house, not a houseboat. I've got to do something about the moisture in my crawl space.
Call the champs, Dry Tech Environmental. They'll knock out that moisture problem and get you back on dry ground. Austin Ireland and his crew at Dry Tech Environmental don't believe in one size fits all. They'll give you multiple custom-made solutions designed with you and your house in mind with their registered trademark Champs crawl space humidity and moisture prevention system, along with quality, workmanship, and customer service second to none. They will solve your moisture problem for good. Don't wait another day. Call Dry Tech today. Mention the SAN and receive a free weather station installed at the time of your solution assessment. Avoid the problems of moisture in your crawl space, dry rot, musty smells, and unhealthy mold growth. Call Dry Tech Environmental. No one does it better and no one's done it longer. When it comes to crawl space moisture problems, they are the champs. Call 410-543-4848 or online at drytekenvironmental.com.
Take Delaware 105.9 with you everywhere by streaming us on your smartphone or tablet. Download the Delaware 105.9 Listen Live app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today. Live streaming brought to you in part by Weller's Utility Trailers in Bridgeville, where they sell utility trailers new and used, as well as sheds, carports, gazebos, dog kennels, and swing sets. Give them a call at 302-337-8228 or on the web at wellers.com. On air, on demand, and on your device. Delaware 105.9.
Hello, this is Pastor Nate Graham from Berean Community Church. I want to tell you about a radio program called Taking God at His Word that airs on Sunday mornings from 6:30 to 7:30, right here on Delaware 105.9. Psalm 19:7 tells us that the testimony of God makes wise the simple. We need wisdom and conviction in this uncertain age. So that's what you'll get at Taking God at His Word. Clear, rich, and practical exposition of God's Word, verse by verse, book by book. I hope it will be a blessing to your life.
All right, coming up on News Time, Kelly Steele is here. Delaware 105.9, keeping you up to date as we track Hurricane Joaquin and other local news. Stay tuned.
Local news first on Delaware 105.9.
Delaware 105.9 News Time is 5:59. Good Thursday morning, everyone. I'm Kelly Steele from the Weather Center. A flood watch for all of Delmarva going into effect tonight. Meantime, today, going to be windy and cooler with rain. A high of 65 degrees. Tonight, heavy rain. Flooding is possible in low-lying areas. And we'll see an overnight low of 59. Hurricane Joaquin expected to strengthen in the Atlantic as it heads towards the central Bahamas today. At last check, which was at 5 o'clock today, that's when the new models came out. National Hurricane Center in Miami said the Category 3 storm was centered about 65 miles east-southeast of San Salvador. Winds have already been clocked at 120 miles per hour. Forecasters say hurricane conditions are expected to reach portions of the central Bahamas in the next few hours. Coming up after CBS, we'll have a live report from Delaware 105.9's John Budler talking Hurricane Joaquin from the first town in the first state. This is WXDE Lewis. It's 6 o'clock. Good morning.
CBS News, I'm Frank Centopani. Big waves are crashing ashore in Nassau, the Bahamas, as Hurricane Joaquin slowly closes in. National Weather Service forecaster Michael Brennan says Joaquin is a dangerous Category 3 storm.
Hurricane Joaquin is very close to the central Bahamas. It's a major hurricane now with maximum winds of about 120 miles per hour.
Some forecasts say Joaquin could slam ashore in Virginia in a few days, but parts of the southeast may see strong waves and high swells as early as today. Margie Latrella hopes her flight out of Tampa on Sunday won't be affected.
Kind of praying that that's the way it's going to go and I wouldn't have to change my flight.
Virginia has already declared a state of emergency. Overseas, a Lebanese TV station is reporting a second day of Russian airstrikes in a part of western Syria held by al-Qaeda's Nusra Front. That could not be independently confirmed. American planes have been targeting ISIS in eastern Syria. U.S. and Russian military officials plan to meet soon to talk about ways to avoid a direct confrontation. On the presidential campaign trail in Keene, New Hampshire, Donald Trump promised that Syrian war refugees who make it to the U.S. would be sent home if he's elected.
If I win, they're going back. They're going back. I'm telling you. They're going back.
Trump says he's afraid ISIS terrorists could be hiding out among the refugees. A fishing expedition targeted Hillary Clinton, but she apparently didn't take the bait. Live to CBS News correspondent Heather Bosch.
Russia-linked hackers tried at least 5 times to get Hillary Clinton to download a virus that would have let them take over her computer. She received virus-loaded emails disguised as speeding tickets while she was Secretary of State. A spokesman says Clinton did not fall for the bait, but critics say it's more evidence she should never have used her private email server for official business because that could have compromised government secrets.
Heavy fighting is said to be continuing on the outskirts of Kunduz, the city in northern Afghanistan that was overrun by Taliban forces earlier this week. Afghan officials claim they've retaken the city center. Residents said soldiers were going house to house in search of Taliban fighters who may not have made it out. Today is the deadline for retailers to install terminals that can read new credit cards with chips that make it harder for thieves to make fraudulent purchases. But many haven't. Industry analyst Matt Schultz says they may come to regret that.
They will bear the liability in case of credit card fraud, and that's a big shift because in the past, banks have borne most of that liability.
A lot of money was on the line in last night's Powerball lottery drawing, and someone hit the jackpot.
There was one grand prize winning ticket sold for tonight's Powerball drawing, winning an estimated $310.5 million.
Lottery spokeswoman Sue Dooley says a filling station in Three Rivers, Michigan, sold the winning ticket. There's no word yet on who might have bought it. S&P futures are up 16 points. This is CBS News.
Advance Auto Parts knows what makes a car guy a car guy. It's working through the unexpected surprises that spring up with every project. It's character, and it isn't rattled by a little thing like a dead battery, especially when you can get a new one online at advanceautoparts.com and pick it up in store just 30 minutes later. We'll even install it for free, so you can get back to fixing faster. Advance Auto Parts, for guys who love getting under the hood.
Most vehicles, most locations. See store for details.
The more you learn about your insurance coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Honey, someone stole my wedding ring.
When you're really only covered for this.
Honey, someone stole my decoder ring.
Oh, well, it was weird anyway.
Or how with renter's insurance, you're covered for
valuables, electronics, bikes, karaoke machines, waffle makers, superhero pajamas.
And without it, you're covered for... Talk to a farmer's agent about what gaps might be hiding in your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Delaware 105.9 news time is 6:04. Good morning, everybody. It's all things hurricane this morning. Hurricane Joaquin expected to strengthen in the Atlantic as it heads toward the central Bahamas today. At last check, at 5 o'clock this morning, that's when the new models came out. The National Hurricane Center in Miami said the now Category 3 storm was centered about 65 miles east-southeast of San Salvador. On the line with me live this morning is Delaware 105.9's John Butler. Now, John, you're in Massey's Landing. The weather we're experiencing right now and the weather we're going to see tomorrow is actually from a coastal storm, not from Hurricane Joaquin.
Yeah, that's right, Kelly. We've heard the term 1-2 punch several times over the last 24 hours, and that's exactly what is happening. We are getting the effects of a nor'easter right now, and then what could be an impact from Joaquin. Now, I'm at Massey's right now. Driving in, it's worth noting that the wind really picked up, lots of debris on the road, pine needles, leaves. And when I got to Massey's, the wind is just unbearable right now out here. The water is a lot higher, which is unusual because the high tide is not until about noon today. But the water is very rough, very soupy, lots of strong winds. I can see, Kelly, the Indian River Inlet Bridge behind me, and I would expect travelers across that bridge to take some extra precautions with this strong wind and gust right now. So be very careful if you're out and about, especially if you're driving along the coast. John Butler here at Massey's Landing.
Thank you very much, John Butler. John, next hour, we're going to head towards the Rehoboth Dewey Beach areas, talk about the wind and the waves and any beach erosion that might be occurring already ahead of this hurricane. Ocean City Emergency Services is continuing to monitor the projected path of Hurricane Joaquin. Currently, effects of the storm are expected to be in the Ocean City area starting tomorrow. High winds and large amounts of rain are likely even before the storm's arrival, which again could lead to flooding. Town of Ocean City staff beginning preparations for the impending storm and completing pre-storm action items. In addition, many outdoor events for the weekend have already been canceled or postponed in advance of the weather, including the Wine on the Beach and the OPA National Championship powerboat races. Now, before, during, and after the storm, the town of Ocean City will be posting storm-related information on various websites, social media outlets, and through the emergency alert system in an effort to keep citizens informed with the most updated and accurate information. The town of OC will be posting storm-related information on several outlets. You can get those links by logging into the story on our website at Delaware105.9.com. There has been some other news overnight besides Hurricane Joaquin. A serious scooter crash in Long Neck is under investigation. Delaware State Police say it happened just before 5:30 Wednesday afternoon as 35-year-old Kevin Phillips of Millsboro was operating a Bantam Bastion Sport 50 scooter westbound on the shoulder of Route 24 near Eagle Lane. Police say the scooter ran over some branches that were laying on the shoulder, causing Phillips to lose control on the wet road. The scooter then slid onto its side. Police say Phillips was not wearing a helmet. He was taken to BB Hospital. He is currently in critical condition. A Republican formally announcing his candidacy for Delaware's sole representative in the U.S. House. Delaware 105.9's Tom Lehman has more on that.
Former Wyoming mayor and military pilot Hans Riegel says if he's elected to Congress, he would support policies aimed at reducing regulation and cutting government expenses.
I believe things are moving in the wrong direction. We've been doing the same things with the same names for years, and we have to change. We need to elect new ideas and new leadership.
No other Republicans have said they will run for the House in 2016 to fill the seat held by Democrat John Carney, who is running for governor next year. State lawmakers Brian Townsend and Brian Short are seeking the Democratic nomination. In Dover, Tom Lehman for Delaware 105.9.
Thank you, Tom. Delaware 105.9 news time is 6:08. Time for Schofield on sports.
3 Henlopen Conference football games have been moved to tonight due to expected heavy rain and poor field conditions tomorrow. Seaford at Indian River, Polytech at Cape, and St. George's at Cesar Rodney will all be played this evening. In Major League Baseball yesterday, the Toronto Blue Jays clinched their first AL East title since 1993 with a 15-2 rout of the Orioles in the first game of a doubleheader. In Game 2, Chris Davis homered twice, pushing his league-leading total to 45 as Baltimore wins 8-1. In Philly, 2 wild pitches by Mets pitching led the Phils to winning back-to-back games against New York at Citizens Bank Park for the first time since 2013. 7-5 was the final. And in Atlanta, the Braves beat the Nationals 2-0 as Jordan Zimmerman gave up 2 runs over 6 innings to fall to 13-10. Schedule changes in Major League Baseball today as well. The Phillies and Mets and Orioles and Blue Jays will start at 12:05 instead of the originally scheduled 7:05. And Week 4 of the NFL season kicks off tonight in Baltimore. The Ravens go for their first win against Pittsburgh. Kickoff is at 8:25. That's Schofield on Sports on Delaware 105.9.
And from the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center, a flood watch for all of Delmarva will be in effect as of tonight. Today, windy and cooler with rain, a high of 65 degrees. Tonight, heavy rain. Flooding is possible in low-lying areas, an overnight low of 59 on Friday. Windy with heavy rain and flooding again in the low-lying areas, a high of 63. Hurricane Joaquin may affect the area starting on Sunday morning. Again, what we're seeing right now is just a coastal storm. It has nothing to do with Hurricane Joaquin.
That's right, Kelly.
Today
1-2 punch. You keep saying it. 1-2 punch.
Today and tomorrow, Danny, lots of rain because of the coastal storm ahead of the hurricane. Out the door temps this morning, 62 degrees in Milford, 64 in Rehoboth Beach. It looks like 63 right now in Delmar. I'm Kelly Steele in the Delaware 105.9 newsroom. More of the Dan Gaffney Show coming up on Delaware 105.9.
How much do you trust the weather forecast in these days? Do you rely on it pretty much, or are you cynical about it? Being cynical about the weather forecasting, as I have become over the last couple of years, that's not good when there's a big storm coming. However, we're asking you about it. 839-1059. We are going to rely on the best forecast that we have. And it's very, very early, and this is a very unpredictable hurricane in terms of its track. One model has it going out to sea. That's the European model. I hope they're right. Some other models show that it could come up and go right up the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay. It's a Category 3 hurricane right now in the Bahamas. Joaquin is the name of the hurricane, and a Category 3 is what it was named overnight. It's intensifying, and we'll know more about its track over the next day, today and tomorrow. Meanwhile, this storm we have now gives us a flood watch for all of Delmarva going into effect tonight. Do you want to say anything about the weather? What are you thinking about this? Let me tell you my thoughts, okay? I have watched every day as a part of my job here on the radio, not just the weather, but weather forecasting, if that makes any sense to you. Because I'm not a meteorologist, right? And I don't take an active interest in plotting an actual forecast. However, I do have to rely on the people who are meteorologists, and the good ones and the not so good ones, okay? And the ones who are correct, accurate, I need to give those people to you, right? So in the morning, I check with weather people, and then we bring you the forecast, and we use the most accurate and reliable folks we can, because on my radio show, I've always wanted the most accurate and reliable. I don't want to just read it and be done with it. I want it to really be accurate. So we try. However, what I've said is that in general, the last couple of years, I think forecasting has been way off. We'll get to that in a minute. But let me tell you what's in the back of my mind about Hurricane Joaquin. These are my early morning thoughts. The ground is getting soaked by rain right now. We're going to have heavy rain tonight due to the storm. And we're going to have soaked, wet ground. Heavy, wet ground. Soaked with rain. Following that is the potential of Joaquin. And so what's in the back of my mind is one of these computer models from the National Hurricane Center that shows the eye of Joaquin going right up the Chesapeake Bay. And that's a potential, I say potential, Monday eye of the hurricane, if you will, as an inland Delaware event. We've seen those storms over the years. They're not pretty. That's an inland thing. You know, we always think hurricanes, the coast, the beach. Well, for Delaware, you know, what if? Well, if the eye of the hurricane travels up, hits, clips, the Carolinas and goes right into the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay, we've seen those babies go right up there. And then the winds are, a Seaford, Delaware, Bridgeville, Greenwood. You know, they're that parts of Delaware. And a back bay and river event. That's one of the possible tracks. So here's what's in the back of my mind because of that. We've got wet ground, and then here comes a hurricane that would bring a deluge of rain. What, another 10 inches of rain, a foot of rain or something, plus the winds. And in an area where, because of the rotation of the hurricane, it's an inland thing. Here's what you get with that. You get trees down everywhere. You get flooding, and you get trees down, and you get trees falling over power lines, and you have potential long-term power outage. That's not my forecast. I'm saying this is in the back of my mind. Very real possibility if the storm, big if, right? But you see major tree falls and flooding, and that's big problems. Anyway, speculation, okay? Speculation. That's based on early forecasting. But the real point here is to say that over the last couple of years, I've never experienced such poor weather forecasting information. Everyone jokes about, the weatherman gets it wrong all the time. And lately it does seem, in my opinion, the last year or two, a couple of years, forecasting has been way off. Weekend rains. The weekend's going to be a washout, and the rains never come. Major hyped storms that just fizzle. Snow predictions, like the boy who cried wolf with the snow. So I've actually become cynical about weather forecasting being correct, and that's bad when it comes to big storms that are truly important, like a hurricane. So despite my cynical attitude, we rely and will rely on the most accurate forecast we can give you. So the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center, which are, it's AccuWeather. I rely on them. They've been very good over the years. And for hurricanes, the number 2 choice is the National Hurricane Center, which is the National Weather Service. I don't generally like their forecast. on a day-to-day basis, but when it comes to hurricanes specifically, I tune to them because they seem to be a bit more accurate. We have the satellite information and whatever. And the third is, what I joked earlier. I said it's my proprietary amalgamation of minor sources. So I do have a few other sources that I don't want to talk about. But the point is, stay engaged on Joaquin's track over the next day. You just need to be prepared for something, whether the forecaster tells you it's going to come or not. So the point is, be prepared and stay engaged. And now let's see what you think about forecasting in general over the last few years. Chris in Georgetown. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, good morning, Dave. How are you?
I'm fantastic. What do you think?
You know what? My theory is they're all in cahoots with the baker, the dairy guy, and the bottled water people now. Because that's what they pay you to get. You got plenty of bread, water, milk, and you go to the stores, and what do you find? You can't find bread, milk, or water.
Right.
They're all in cahoots,
I hear you.
That's my theory on it.
I hear you.
I hope this thing goes out to sea, though. I do. It won't be pretty if it doesn't.
Yeah, the European model, which is just that, it's European computers of weather forecasting, shows in modeling out to sea.
And that's the one that predicted Sandy right.
You're right. That's the thing. We're the United States of America. Who has had the most accurate look at our weather the last few years? Europe.
Hey, who knows? Maybe Dave from Harrington's right. Maybe the Euros are controlling the weather.
Right. Or maybe, who knows? If you want to go conspiracy, somebody might have a vested interest in feeding us bad data through our computer. It could be a hack situation,
Yeah, that's what you're ready to say. Maybe we got hacked.
That's right.
Have a good one.
Hang in there, Chris. Thanks for calling. Hey, good morning. It's Delaware 105.9 at 6:18. Here's your traffic watch. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the weather forecasting in general. Weather forecasting. 839-1059. 839-1059. Call now. We'll get right to it. I'd love to hear from you. I want your thoughts to be on the air with us. I'd love to hear from you. Here is Traffic Watch, Robin Bryson.
Dan, we're off to a pretty good start this morning. Light activity all the way around. No matter where you are through both Sussex and Kent counties, you'll see just light activity along 13, along 113, or Route 1 along the coast, Route 54. From Selbyville to Delmar, or Route 24 through Millsboro, all seeing just light activity this morning. In Kent County, it's the same thing. In and out of Dover. Route 1 doing all right through the Dover Toll Plaza, 13 in good shape. Even Route 8 in and out of Dover moving along without any major jams or delays so far this morning. I'm Robin Bryson with Traffic Watch on Delaware 105.9.
Hi, it's Dan Gaffney. Join me weekday mornings, 5:30 a.m. till 10 for the Dan Gaffney program right here on Delaware 105.9. Meteorologist Steve Williams here with your morning weather forecast. Good morning, Steve.
A flood watch in effect beginning this evening. For today, windy and cooler, rain high 65. Rain tonight, heavy at times, flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas, low 59. For tomorrow, windy and rain. Some of that could be heavy. Again, watch for some flooding and high 63. Tomorrow night, windy, periods of rain, some heavy. Watch for flooding and a low at 59. Hurricane Joaquin may affect the area beginning on Sunday morning. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
Show yourself a little love with a delicious cup of hot or iced McCafe coffee at McDonald's. Now you can get any size of either one for just $1 any time of the day or night. There's something for everyone to love at McDonald's. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary.
Choosing a bank is an important decision and one people don't like to make too often. It involves consideration of convenience, cost, and last but not least, trust. Community Bank Delaware wants to earn your trust. They're locally owned and managed, and all of their policy and banking decisions are made right here in Sussex County. Stop in and see for yourself the difference a community bank can make. Community Bank Delaware in Lewis and Rehoboth. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Flu season starts with all kinds of symptoms, and Walmart can help you be prepared before they show up with low prices on all the medicines and supplies your family needs. So don't wait until the symptoms have already started. Stock up now at Walmart.
Hi, this is Delaware Governor Jack Markell. Small local businesses are a crucial part of our region's economy. They help define our towns and our neighborhoods, bringing convenience, diversity, and jobs to Delaware. Please join me in supporting small businesses every day, and in particular, the first Saturday of every month. It's easy to remember, first Saturdays in the first state. In partnership with the Small Business Alliance at the Delaware State Chamber of Commerce and Delmarva Broadcasting Company. Happy shopping.
Local participating businesses include Snyder's Candy has been a Rehoboth Beach destination for 75 years with the largest selection of candy at the beach. Located at 60 Rehoboth Avenue or online at snyderscandy.com. And Milford Pizza Restaurant. Hand-tossed pizza, home-cooked meals, and desserts in a family atmosphere. Stop in and see Sue and Eric in the Air Park Plaza. Milford Pizza Restaurant. Dine-in, pick-up, and delivery. Closed Sunday, 422-8499. Small Business Saturday is this Saturday. Identity theft is a crime that affects millions of Americans each year. Defend yourself against identity theft at a free community shred event sponsored by the Delaware Attorney General's Office. Bring up to 3 boxes of documents with personal info and shred them on Saturday, October 3rd from 9 to 1 at the BJ's parking lot at the Peninsula Crossing Shopping Center on Route 113 in Millsboro. That's Saturday, October 3rd from 9 to 1. Learn more by visiting attorneygeneral.delaware.gov or call 1-800-220-5424.
Don't let the ghost of credit past keep you from the car you deserve. Have a job clearing $350 per week? We want to approve your credit today. At Berlin Chevy, take $12,000 off with any trade on select new 2015 Chevy Silverados in stock. Colorado, Tahoe, Suburban, Impalas, Malibus, and Cruises, even the 2015 Silverado 2500 HD. Take $12,000 off. Have a job clearing $350 per week? Berlin Chevy wants to approve you for the credit you deserve. 2015 Chevy Cruze, just $167 per month lease. Plus, we'll take any trade, even if you still owe thousands on it.
And remember, Jim wants to see you in the coolest small town in America, Berlin, Maryland.
Berlin Chevy. Find new roads on Old Ocean City Boulevard, Berlin, Maryland.
Qualified buyers. Credit may affect terms. Balance of trade carried over to new loan. Discount based on MSRP of $58,650 with $8,798 factory rebates to dealer and $3,202 dealer discount. Stock number 3725.
This is Sheila Setzer of Brighton Homes. This is your last chance to build a new stick-built home with the features you love and the prices you want in the villages of 5 Points on Savannah Road in Lewis. Purchase in September and receive free granite, free crown molding, free hardwood and tiled floors, $10,000 in options of your choice, and we will pay your entire 3% transfer tax. Visit us at our furnished model open daily. Call me at 703-6633 or go to brytonhomes.com.
Brighton Homes is an equal housing opportunity builder. Prices and incentives are subject to change without notice.
When you give to Goodwill, you give individuals like Yubi inspiration and independence.
I noticed Yubi wasn't lifting her head and doing things that babies would normally do. And as time would go on, I would get a diagnosis of cerebral palsy. 2012 was a tough year for Yubi. She was hospitalized for 5 months. And I saw some depression sitting in. And I wanted things to change for her. So one day, I drove by the Goodwill and I saw a big sign, medical supplies. When I came in, I could not believe it was a power wheelchair, brand new. And it had head controls, everything that Yubi would need to have a gift of a power chair given to you. It gives you the inspiration to drive and to move forward with your life.
Your donations give affordable mobility through our home medical equipment program located in Wilmington, Delaware. To hear how your donations have impacted the lives of individuals like Yubi or how you can find home medical equipment, visit goodwillde.org. Goodwill, we are more than the store.
Hey, Sumo here. I'm back broadcasting live from the Cottage Cafe in Bethany Beach. Hoping you'll come out today and join me. I'll be there starting at 10. Come on out for the great lunch specials and be part of the show. That's at the Cottage Cafe on Route 1 South in Bethany Beach.
Right on this morning. All right, at Delaware 105.9. If you go to YouTube this morning and search the Dan Gaffney Show, look for the one that says live event. It's got a little box, red box, live event. We're live right now. Streaming video from the studio, and it's great to have you listening. We're talking about the weather and weather forecasting, and do you trust the weather forecast these days in general more than before, less than before, or about the same? Do you have any thoughts on forecasting and weather reporting these days? 839-1059. I want to do it also in conjunction with this. I want to do a little history here as we're We're way out here, a few days away from Joaquin, and we hope the computer models that show it going out to sea are correct, but there are other models that show it could come toward the Delmarva Peninsula and get toward us. So that's on our radar screen. No pun intended. 1999, Tropical Storm Floyd. It was a tropical storm, but that thing was one of those things that hit the southeastern portion of the state, and in Greenwood, Delaware. In Greenwood, it was a 24-hour state record at the time in rainfall in a 24-hour period, 10, almost 11 inches of rain, over 10 inches in Greenwood. And the flooding from that storm exceeded the 100-year flood return period. 2 people died. Record-breaking river levels throughout our state. There were hundreds of roads and bridges closed. There were trees trapped. Hundreds of trees were uprooted. 25,000 people were without power for 3 days. There were 171 homes damaged in Delaware. Damage near the ocean, however, minimal. Minor beach erosion, little tidal flooding. It was no big deal for the beach. But it was one of those things that was an inland, it hit and came inland and affected inland Delaware. As a matter of fact, President Clinton declared Delaware a disaster area then. And we got federal funding to rebuild and clean up. That was 1990. It was September in 1999. It was only a tropical storm, too. It was Tropical Storm Floyd. So I'm just bringing that up because it's not always the beach that is affected by tropical storms and hurricanes. You got to know where they're going, where the eye is, and once the eye comes aground, it comes ashore, comes on land, where is it traveling? Where's the heavy rain going to dump? So these are all things to think about. If you're new to the area and you're thinking, well, I don't live near the beach, just, keep that in mind. Let's go to Bob in Georgetown. Bob, we have a news break in a minute, but I want to get started with you. Good morning, Bob.
Hey, good morning, Dan.
Hi.
What gets me about these forecasts are the last one said, I think 2 days ago, it might reach hurricane speed. Well, today it's a Class 3 hurricane.
Yeah, overnight intensified, Cat 3.
Yeah. And then they say it'll stay 60 miles offshore. Well, the worst side of a hurricane is the west side of the hurricane. 60 miles offshore isn't that far, so we will get pounded with rain.
Potentially.
Whether it comes up to Chesapeake Bay or not.
That's right.
Because most of the weather is on the west side of a storm anyway. And as far as...
hold on for a second. You make your other point in just a second, okay? Hold on one second, Bob, because I want to bring in Kelly, and then we'll get right to you. Kelly Steele, Delaware 105.9 News, brought to you by Southern States in Milford, Delaware.
Good morning, Dan. Recent downpours have forced people from their homes and closed schools, and forecasters are calling for several more inches of rain in the coming days, regardless of what happens with Hurricane Joaquin, which is spinning right now off the coast. The U.S. National Hurricane Center says depending on its path, Joaquin could intensify the storm's damage. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo was among the officials already urging residents to take precautions, saying our state has seen the damage that extreme weather can cause time and time again. And Virginia's governor has also already declared a state of emergency. Officials on Delmarva are keeping a very close eye on the storm, which has its sights set on the Bahamas this morning with maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour. CBS News is next at 6:31. Good morning.
CBS News update. That's in the Bahamas, where some of Hurricane Joaquin's winds are blowing through. Sustained winds at 120 now.
We do expect some additional strengthening today, and it is possible that Joaquin could become a Category 4 hurricane.
That type of storm has winds ranging from 130 to 156 miles an hour. Michael Brennan at the National Hurricane Center.
We do expect waves and swells to begin affecting portions of the southeast coast of the United States today, and those will likely spread northward as we go later into the week and into the weekend.
Around Washington, D.C., correspondent Chip Reed.
It doesn't take much for the Potomac River to overflow its banks. Back in 2003, dozens of homes and businesses here were flooded. People around here are hoping it doesn't turn out that way this time around.
If Joaquin heads up the East Coast, this resident on the Jersey Shore is getting ready because nearly 3 years ago.
The more that they do to get us prepared, the better off we are, because we still remember Sandy.
CBS News Update, I'm Dave Barrett.
Take Delaware 105.9 with you everywhere by streaming us on your smartphone or tablet. Download the Delaware 105.9 Listen Live app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today. Live streaming brought to you in part by Weller's Utility Trailers in Bridgeville, where they sell utility trailers new and used, as well as sheds, carports, gazebos, dog kennels, and swing sets. Give them a call at 302-337-8228 or on the web at wellers.com. On air, on demand, and on your device. Delaware 105.9. Take Delaware 105.9 with you everywhere by streaming us on your smartphone or tablet. Download the Delaware 105.9 Listen Live app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today. Live streaming brought to you in part by Weller's Utility Trailers in Bridgeville, where they sell utility trailers new and used, as well as sheds, carports, gazebos, dog kennels, and swing sets. Give them a call at 302-337-8228 or on the web at wellers.com. On air, on demand, and on your device. Delaware 105.9.
Because of weekend weather forecast, many events are being canceled. You can go to Delaware 105.9 to check on weekend events, see if yours is there, and see if the one you wanted to go to is canceled or not. Okay, Delaware105.9.com. Let us go to Bob. Bob in Georgetown. Finishing up a few thoughts, my friend. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dan. When it comes to a hurricane, yeah, I'm petrified of them. But, whether it hits or not, because it might not damage me but hurt other people. But what I'm more scared of is a nor'easter that we're getting ready to have today.
Yes.
The beginning of one.
Yeah.
Nor'easters seem to stay sometimes 2, 3, even 4 days. A hurricane, it comes and goes. It just blows on up the coast.
This is why
I'm more scared of these nor'easters than I am a hurricane.
That's right. This is why in the back of my mind, there is this potential of you got the nor'easter hanging here, dumping buckets of rain, and then you've got rain on top of rain with heavy winds. If Joaquin comes by, that's a bad deal. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Exactly. Like I said, I'd almost rather fight to run up to Chesapeake, the hurricane, than stay offshore, because like I said a while ago, the worst side of a storm is the west side. So if it comes up to Chesapeake, we'll still get lots of rain and wind, but it'll be from the east side of the storm, which isn't as strong as the west side,
Right. Thanks for the phone call, my friend. That's Bob. Let's go to Bruce and see what he has to say. We're talking about forecasting in general, a little bit about the actual weather that we know now, but a little bit about forecasting in general. Bruce in Lewis, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dan. I think forecasting now is kind of an obsolete term. There's probably 100 weather models out there. And it's really a discussion. And I think, there's two components in forecasting, national forecasting. One is, you have to warn the people.
Yep.
And then the other is you need to, drive sales. So you're going to play a little bit of drama. I would like to see a little more of a discussion. And I'll tell you, a great weather source is WX Risk. You can source them on Facebook. They're subscription-based, but you'll get good information from Facebook. And it's more discussion. But and his discussion has been that the European model is by far the most reliable model.
Yeah, you've heard me say that. You've heard me say that this morning, right? I mean...
Well, we did, but I think it needs to be emphasized more and more. And you don't hear it too much. I watched the Weather Channel last night. Yeah, they said, the European model says this, but... the reliability factor of it needs to be stressed. So
yes, you're right. Let me tell you this. Again, the beginning of this conversation started with me every day watching not just the weather, but weather forecasting. I would put the Weather Channel way down the list of reliable sources in general over the years. That's all.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Totally. And I think AccuWeather is only accurate a day out. And same with, most of the others. NOAA can be good.
Yeah.
But you don't get that full discussion.
But I only go NOAA. Look, I only go NOAA when it's a tropical event like this. I usually don't check it on a day-to-day basis because it's usually not as accurate as others,
Right.
But
but the sales or anything else.
Exactly. The reliability, let's discuss, okay? You're saying, and I'll let you talk finally here, the reliability of the European model, which are forecasting computers in Europe, has been, over the last couple of years especially, much better?
Much better, yes. And, you can go back and cite a lot of incidents. Isabel is one of them. I remember storm this past winter. They were much more accurate. There are many incidents where, the European model holds up much better. It's a high-resolution model. Almost all the others, the Canadian, I think their GFSs are low resolution, and they're not nearly as reliable.
All right. I myself, because of your call alone, was already on my radar screen, but Ed, because of your call alone, I'm going to pay much more attention to it today.
Yes.
All right,
WX risk.
Okay, and that too, yeah. Thank you. WX, which is short for weather, risk. WX risk.
That's correct.
Thank you, Bruce. Very cool. Glad to see. Discussion is good. That's why I like this format, if you will, of radio, where, we can discuss. We can, because he's right. I mean, it's the best way, really, to kind of determine what's going on, discuss and contrast and compare, and then get real-time information when needed. That's the best way to find out what's going on. So I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for the call, 839-1059. 839-1059. But in all seriousness, if the European model has been as good as we think it has been in an, not an exact world, but it's been, good, why aren't we, the U.S., upgrading, and why haven't we, years ago, upgraded to the best of the best? Why aren't we using the same kind of modeling? We should be getting the same kind of data. I don't know. Right? If we think it's important to properly forecast things, we should be taking the lead, not Europe. Nothing against Europe, mind you. But 839-1059, our weather number, our on-air talk line, 839-1059. We'd love to hear from you. Fishing report. I don't know what they're catching in the rough seas, but we'll see after this.
It's back to school time for area students. Volunteers are needed at the Food Bank of Delaware's Milford branch to help prepare and pack meals for kids at risk of after-school and weekend hunger. Volunteering is a fun and easy way to give back to the community, and you can make a difference in the lives of Delaware children. To learn more or to sign up, please visit fbd.org/volunteer in Milford or call 302-393-2011. Is your family in need of free meals? Dial 211 for Delaware. 211, the state's Health and Human Services hotline.
What would an extra $250 a month mean to you? For some, it's a little financial breathing room. For others, it's a car payment, a home repair, or help with college tuition. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I've got some great news if you're looking to save money on your mortgage. All it takes is a simple phone call to Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. Folks who refinance with HARP can save an average of $250 a month. That's $3,000 a year. Our home loan experts fully understand the HARP guidelines, and they'll walk you through our streamlined process. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And for the second year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. Call 800-QUICKEN or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
Win cash and prizes at Harrington Raceway and Casino this October. Play the over 102,000 Monster Mash Slot Tournament to win free slot play or up to $2,500 cash. Fridays, October 9th and 23rd, the 58,000 His and Hers Bling Bling. Win up to $1,000 cash and luxury gifts. Tuesdays, win mystery cash jackpots up to $300 cash. Visit HarringtonRaceway.com. Harrington Raceway and Casino, where winners play. Some restrictions may apply. All games controlled by the Delaware State Lottery. You must be 21 to play. Visit Players Club for complete details. Harrington Raceway and Casino announces live on stage this October, Beginnings, the ultimate Chicago tribute band. Superstars of country, a night of Motown, and Doug Church as the voice of Elvis. Plus, laugh out loud at Harrington with the region's best comedy acts. For information and tickets, visit the casino gift shop or HarringtonRaceway.com. Harrington Raceway and Casino, where winners play. Some restrictions may apply. All games controlled by the Delaware State Lottery. You must be 21 to play. Visit Players Club for complete details.
It's time now for the Delaware 105.9 Fishing Report with John Butler, heard every morning at this time.
Good morning, anglers. Well, some folks were able to get some fishing in before the impending nor'easter in Joaquin came in. A couple nice-sized sheephead brought to Lewis Harbor Marina, including Dave Walker bringing in a 6.7-pounder. You may recognize his name because he hooked the state record sheephead last year. Matt Sukup also brought a nice sheephead to the marina, a 13-pounder caught on a fiddler crab. Ocean City Fishing Center had some boats go out as well and released several white marlins and bringing home some tuna. Another boat also bringing in some mahi. As of this recording, it looks like Joaquin has strengthened to a Category 3 and could still have a major impact on the area. A reminder to really take care of your boats if they're still at the dock. I talked to one captain in the Lewis area yesterday who had 38 ropes tying down his boat and hoping for the best. With a potential hurricane of that strength coming in, it's better to be safe than sorry. All right, tight lines, be safe out there. Looks like the fishing is going to have to take a back seat for a while. I'm John Butler with the Delaware 105.9 Fishing Report.
NOAA and the National Hurricane Center's 5 a.m. Track of Hurricane Category 3 Hurricane Joaquin. If I could just explain to you the model, which shows a cone of a possibility of its travel, you know, the cone of uncertainty, if you will. It shows off the Carolina coast 2 a.m. Monday, which, based on the previous map, it seems as if the movement north of the hurricane, they're predicting to slow a bit, which also means the storm could intensify as it sits out there. And then it shows a 2 a.m. Tuesday track right in South Jersey, which is certainly right off of our coast. And we are the Chesapeake Bay, inland Virginia, all the way up along the Jersey coast, all in this sort of cone, which contains the probable path of the center of the storm. It doesn't show the size of the storm. It just shows the cone of where it could travel. All right, let's go to Sheldon. Sheldon in Millsboro, Delaware 105.9. Good morning, Sheldon.
Good morning, Dan. Some of your listeners may know me. I've kind of been an amateur weather guy since I was a little kid. I actually used to give weather reports in elementary school.
Nice.
And so I grew up around here, watched these storms. I agree with the assessment that the Euro model tends to be best, but it should be mentioned, just to respectfully set the record straight, that the North American U.S. model was actually updated about a year ago, and there was a winter storm, I think, this past winter that the Euro model actually completely missed, and the updated North American U.S. model nailed it. So I think that that's worth mentioning. That being said, the Euro still has a great track record overall, and I think that you take that into account as well as the prevailing westerlies at this latitude, the Coriolis effect, the spinning of the Earth. These storms tend to hook to the right, as some of your callers may have mentioned. So
we hope so.
You know, go ahead.
I said we hope so.
I think when you look at the history, if I were to make a call, I think this thing's going to hook to the right. As much as I would love to see, more direct impacts here, because I love Mother Nature at her finest. I think historically it's going to make that curve to the right. Also, it's worth mentioning that, again, just to respectfully set the record straight, when a hurricane is a pure tropical system, it's actually strongest in the right front quadrant, which is the northeast side of the storm in the northern hemisphere, not the western side, as your previous caller had said. Now, when they start to transition to extratropical or post-tropical, when they get to this latitude about 35 to 40 degrees north, that can change a little bit. But again, a pure hurricane is actually strongest on the east side. So a track over South Jersey, if I were to make a call, I think the impacts are actually going to be minor. I think we could see some moderate impacts from the nor'easter, though.
Right. So let's back up a little bit. What if, what would you say if, right, this would take a up the Chesapeake Bay track?
I think that would actually be the worst case scenario, even if we're a little farther from the center, because it'll be like Isabel to push the water up the bay. Which I guess the one positive would be, if you recall, the crab harvest the following year was great because it was like flushing a toilet. The water filled the Chesapeake and then flushed it out. Yeah. And I guess I'm not a crab or a waterman, but the eggs, I guess, that were up in the reeds and all got dislodged, and there was a great crab harvest. But that's going to cause flooding kind of on the midshore, but also we're going to get the water, the storm surge, piling up along the Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia coastline, the Delmarva coastline. So I think that the track that was showing at 11 o'clock last night was a worst-case scenario. The one this morning, I think, is taking into account the Euro, and I think you're going to see the models keep shifting east.
I would love that. I know you want to see some power, but, for everyone else's well-being, I'd love to see it go easterly,
Yeah, definitely don't want to see anyone hurt, but I have to admit, seeing the trees bending back and forth, that's pretty exciting.
Well, truth be told, I agree with you. I mean, there's nothing quite like being in it. And when the eyes pass over and it's coming, and the roaring and I'm with you. I mean,
yeah.
It's terrible when people have property damage or even life damage, of course. But you're right. It's something to behold. So, Sheldon, you're still thinking, if you were to guess at this point, it's going to continue to see it moving easterly, which means it puts us far enough off the coast. That would put us far enough away from it to not be much at all.
I would say I'd give it a 3 out of 4. I mean, this morning I'm comfortable making a call. It's going to turn east. And we're actually, again, I think the nor'easter component, because of the pressure gradient, I think we'll see a moderate impact from that. Not sure how much rain, but I think as far as the coastal flooding, maybe a moderate impact. But I think the hurricane will be minor. Again, it's just climatology tells us these things turn east when it's on the fence. I mean, if we had, if all the models were in agreement, sure. But I just don't see it happening.
Sheldon, you can call me anytime. I enjoyed your forecast. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan.
All right. And truth be told, I'm up here jotting Sheldon's phone number down. Sometimes I keep some people's phone numbers just because I think they're interesting and that someday you might want to call on them again. So I wrote Sheldon's phone number down. He'd be a good guy to talk to. He's so into it, right? Hey, he's into it. He's in Millsboro, and he's like, got a little reputation of being a, amateur weather guy. Maybe you're a professional weather guy. I don't know. I didn't ask you, Sheldon, but hey, I will, love hearing from you, Sheldon, on the Dan Gaffney program. Good morning at 6:50 and 10 till 7 o'clock. Let's check Traffic Watch this morning and our weather forecast, the best we've got. We'll do that coming up, but first of all, Robin Bryson.
Dan, traffic's not doing badly this morning. We do have some light rain falling through parts of the area, kind of scattered about. Just take it easy if you're traveling on wet roadways. Allow a little extra time as you head out the door this morning. Still seeing very light activity, though. On 13, working your way in and out of Dover. Route 1 through the Dover Toll Plaza in Sussex County. 113 from Milford through Georgetown down through Millsboro. Haven't seen any delays or problems right there. 13 through Sussex County is also in good shape. Through Bridgeville, through Seaford, right down through Laurel, down toward Delmar. I'm Robin Bryson with Traffic Watch on Delaware 105.9.
Is it true?
People you know.
Oh, of course.
From right here.
Is that what you're thinking? What's going on?
Delaware 105.9.
Here we go. Delaware 105.9's 3-day forecast. Meteorologist Steve Williams.
A flood watch in effect beginning this evening. For today, windy and cooler, rain, high 65. Rain tonight, heavy at times, flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas, low 59. For tomorrow, windy and rain. Some of that could be heavy. Again, watch for some flooding and high 63. Tomorrow night, windy, periods of rain, some heavy, watch for flooding, and a low at 59. Hurricane Joaquin may affect the area beginning on Sunday morning. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
Whether you're celebrating a special occasion or just want to enjoy a perfect meal, we invite you to experience 1776 Steakhouse for premium dry-aged beef, fresh seafood, chops, chicken, pasta, and vegetarian selections, along with an extensive beer and wine list. The atmosphere, warm, classic, and inviting. The service, unmatched. Visit 1776 Steakhouse for a revolutionary dining experience in Midway Shopping Center. Call 302-645-9355 for reservations. Enjoy Nick Wayne on the piano every Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m.
Come on in to the Pint Pub in Millsborough and travel back to years gone by, where wood-fired ovens create eclectic dishes from ye olde England, Scotland, Ireland and America. The Pint Pub and Eatery is located at 303 Main Street in Millsborough. Join Jerry Speece this Thursday from 5:30 to 8 p.m. And don't forget, every Thursday it's $19 prime rib.
One call, Red does it all.
Peninsula wants to thank you for singing our praises. Since March, customers have posted more than 300 Perfect 10 reviews online, and we couldn't be more proud. If you have a plumbing problem, you want someone right away to take care of it. That's what we do at Peninsula. From old pipe repairs to new construction, if it concerns water, it concerns us. Get upfront pricing, work by highly trained master plumbers, work guaranteed for a full year, all by a locally owned family-run business since 1935.
One call, Red does it all.
Schedule your whole home winterization for as low as $250 today.
One call, Red does it all.
Plumbing, heating, air conditioning, propane gas logs and fireplaces, oil delivery and trash pickup, residential or commercial. It's just one call to Peninsula. Go to callrednow.com. That's callrednow.com, and we'll have you singing our praises too.
One call, Red does it all.
We are the guys you call when there's a sense of urgency because your roof is leaking. We are the guys you call when you're just ready to update your style. We are Spicer Brothers Construction, and we will get it done right the first time. Ask about our great warranties and financing options. With Spicer Brothers Construction, you are serviced by the area's leading GAF Master Elite Roofing Contractor. We are not here to install your next roof. We are here to install your last roof, because at the end of the day, this is the sign you want in your yard.
Let's face it, saving money isn't always fun. It's great to save money, but sometimes you want to treat yourself to dinner at a new restaurant or indulge at the spa. You can save money and enjoy life with GetItHalfOff.com. Every week, brand new featured offers hit the online shelves of GetItHalfOff.com. Your life at half price. GetItHalfOff.com.
This week's featured offers include Buck's Restaurant in Rising Sun, Frightland in Middletown, and Tailgates in Newark.
I'm with Colin Walls of Walls Service Center in downtown Milford, Delaware. Colin, you're kind of experts when it comes to a lot of things with your automobile, including air conditioning service.
That's right, Dan, and it's not just cars. We work on lots of different things that have an automotive AC in it. Anything from a dump truck, a backhoe, farm equipment. If it has an automotive-style air conditioning in it, we can take care of it.
Warranty on the compressor, I hear?
Dan, if you get a brand new compressor, you will get a lifetime warranty on it. It's kind of unheard of in this industry.
Speaking of warranties, you're a federated car care center. What does that mean exactly?
Well, it means you get a nationwide warranty, Dan. And also, more specifically, we have our own warranty that is just a little bit better than everybody else's. We actually give a 15-month, 15,000-mile warranty on all repairs, and each specific part may have a longer warranty. Give us a call, 422-8110, or stop in at 220 Northeast Front Street, or check us out on the web, wallservicecenter.com.
Hey, Sumo here. I'm back broadcasting live from the Cottage Cafe in Bethany Beach. Hoping you'll come out today and join me. I'll be there starting at 10. Come on out for the great lunch specials and be part of the show. That's at the Cottage Cafe on Route 1 South in Bethany Beach.
And that's this morning, $5.99 lunch specials, bar lunch specials with Sumo today, 10 o'clock till 3. Got a big window. Want to get out and about? Should be fun. Getting into Bethany Beach, go to Cottage Cafe and meet the Sumo. Sumo stands for Susan Monday. The Sumo. I don't know. A listener came up with that. I think listeners came up with the Sumo. You know, like Froyo for frozen yogurt. Susan Monday, Sumo. Rofo, Royal Farms. What else do they do the faux with? The yo and the faux and the mo?
I think we need one for Dan Gaffney.
No, I don't need one.
Daga.
Go. Dago.
Dago? Okay.
Dago?
You want to be Dago? Okay.
It sounds too offensive to Italians. So we can't do it. So, I don't need that. But it's Susan Monday, and she'll be there today at the Cottage Cafe. Flood watch for Delmarva going into effect tonight. Windy and cooler. Rain today. Tonight, heavy rain. Flooding possible in low-lying areas. Overnight low 59. Windy and heavy rain Friday. Heavy rain. Flooding in low-lying areas, which, you know where they are. 63 will be the high on Friday. And we are getting this storm now with the heavy rains. This is not from the tropical system now known as Hurricane Joaquin. This is just a rain event or nor'easter event or whatever it is. And so we'll keep watching this, as they call it, 1-2 punch of heavy rain followed by potential effects from Hurricane Joaquin. Computer modeling, the latest from the National Hurricane Center, can be seen at Delaware105.9.com. Because of the nasty weekend weather, a lot of local events have been postponed or canceled, and we've activated Storm Watch because of that. And if you go to Delaware105.9.com, there's a red banner at the top of the page. You get all those closings. Later this morning, we're going to hear Kelly Steele's interview with the father of that 7-year-old boy who was found dead last week in Oak Orchard. What does the father say? We'll hear about it coming up later this morning.
Local news first on Delaware 105.9.
Delaware 105.9 news time is 6:59. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kelly Steele from the Weather Center. Today looks windy, cooler with rain, a high of 65 degrees. Tonight, heavy rain, flooding possible in low-lying areas, of course, an overnight low of 59. Hurricane Joaquin strengthening to a Category 3 storm overnight. It's now bearing down on the central Bahamas today. At last check at 5 o'clock, that was the latest update. National Hurricane Center in Miami said Joaquin was centered about 65 miles east-southeast of San Salvador. Winds have been clocked at 120 miles per hour. Forecasters say hurricane conditions are expected to reach portions of the central Bahamas in the next few hours. That storm is then expected to head toward the east coast of the United States. Coming up after CBS News, another live report from Delaware 105.9's John Budler from the first town in the first state. This is WXDE Lewis.
Delaware 105.9.
It's 7 o'clock.
CBS News, I'm Frank Sedapani. The surf is churning along the coast of Nassau, the Bahamas, but powerful Hurricane Joaquin, packing 120-mile-an-hour winds, is still far out to sea. National Weather Service forecaster Michael Brennan says the storm is already a Category 3 and could grow meaner as it draws closer.
Potential for some very strong winds, storm surge of up to 5 to 8 feet above normal tide levels in portions of the central Bahamas, and very, very heavy rainfall with the slow motion of the storm, isolated amounts as high as 20 inches.
Some computer models have that storm slamming ashore in Virginia a few days from now. A state of emergency is in effect there, but one tourist doesn't plan to leave early.
We're going to hunker down if anything happens, so we're going to try and ride it out.
The storm, when and if it hits, could dump 10 inches of rain along the already saturated East Coast. In Washington, liberals and conservatives have found something they actually agree on And the end result could be an overhaul of the criminal justice system. Live to CBS News correspondent Heather Bosch.
The goal is to get nonviolent drug offenders out of lengthy prison sentences and into treatment. Supporters say it would make the system more fair and save taxpayers money. A bill to be unveiled in the Senate today would allow judges to give sentences that are below the mandatory minimum for nonviolent drug offenders. Some current inmates could get their sentences reduced if they participate in a drug rehab program and are at low risk to reoffend.
Russia says it carried out a second day of airstrikes in a part of western Syria held by an al-Qaeda affiliate. CBS News correspondent Cami McCormick.
U.S.-Russian military talks could get underway today. Secretary of State John Kerry said the U.S. would have grave concerns if Russia is conducting strikes against groups other than ISIS. At the UN this morning, the Russian foreign minister is expected to talk about Moscow's intentions in Syria.
At a New Hampshire campaign stop, Donald Trump said any Syrian war refugees who come to the U.S. would be sent home if he's elected president.
Listen, they could be ISIS. I don't know. Did you ever see a migration like that? They're all men.
In northern Afghanistan, Afghan forces have moved into the center of Kunduz, an important city that fell to the Taliban earlier this week. Parliament member Fatima Aziz says the fighting continues on the outskirts of town.
The Taliban are still resisting and fighting back, but slowly being pushed out of the city.
Richard Glossip, convicted of a murder he insists he had nothing to do with, was minutes from death when Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin stepped in. Fallin postponed the execution because the state did not get the right drugs for a lethal injection.
It's solely about following the protocol and getting things right. This is a very serious issue in the state of Oklahoma. We want to do things right in our state.
Lottery officials say one lucky buyer had the only winning ticket in last night's $300 million Powerball game. A gas station in Three Rivers, Michigan sold it. S&P futures are up 13. This is CBS News.
At TIAA Cref, our record sounds like a broken record. We got impressive results in 2013. And 2014, same thing. We're like, hey, weren't we just here? Then 2015, boom, more impressive results. That's the kind of record you'd expect from a company that's created to serve and built to perform. Intelligent investing, powerful results. Visit TIAA.org. TIAA Cref Individual and Institutional Services, LLC. Investing involves risk.
Advance Auto Parts knows what makes a car guy a car guy. It's working through the unexpected surprises that spring up with every project. It's character, and it isn't rattled by a little thing like a dead battery, especially when you can get a new one online at advanceautoparts.com and pick it up in store just 30 minutes later. We'll even install it for free, so you can get back to fixing faster. Advance Auto Parts, for guys who love getting under the hood.
Most vehicles, most locations. See store for details.
Delaware 105.9 news time is 7:04. Good morning, everybody. Where will Hurricane Joaquin go after it hits the Bahamas? That's what everybody's wondering right now, at least along the east coast of the United States. It has its sights set right now on the Bahamas. Maximum sustained winds this morning, 120 miles per hour. It's already a Category 3 storm. And our own Delaware 105.9's John Butler on the beach in Rehoboth this morning, already getting battered by high wind and heavy waves. John, what do you see? What's going on?
Well, it's very windy, lots of rain right now. I am right on front of the beach right now, on the beach, staring out at the jetty. Behind me is the boardwalk to Rehoboth, and I'm telling you right now, these are some angry seas right now. I would say the wind has picked up some intensity here in the last hour or so. Very dangerous wind conditions, and the rain really starting to come down right now. And again, the seas are very angry. I would say anywhere from maybe 6 to 10 feet waves. Just very dangerous conditions out here. And, well, I'm going to try to make it back to my car if I can get through this wind here. But reporting in Rehoboth, right on the beach, John Butler, Delaware 105.9 News.
Yeah, I apologize for that audio. John was right on the beach. I believe he said 6 to 10 foot waves, high winds, rough surf, already some beach erosion. And the effects that we're feeling right now, the rain that we're seeing, the high winds and stuff, it's all because of a coastal storm. Really doesn't have anything to do just yet with Hurricane Joaquin, but it will. Meantime, meantime, Sussex County Emergency Operations Center is gearing up for the potential impact of Hurricane Joaquin. County officials are on alert. They're ready for the potential of a 1-2 punch.
Storm would give us that nor'easter effect with rains, wind, onshore flow. And then depending on the track of the hurricane, of what we get from that, either more rain and wind or an actual punch.
Public Information Officer Debbie Jones there telling Delaware 105.9 they've been in constant contact with the National Weather Service on the potential path of Hurricane Joaquin as officials prepare for what's to come. Jones says Delawareans should be prepared as well.
Putting away loose items that the wind could blow around and make sure that they have their cars filled with gas, have enough non-perishable foods to sustain water for at least 3 days in the event that we would get a major impact.
Other items include a flashlight with extra batteries, easily open perishable items, and water for each person and each day. We will keep you posted here at Delaware 105.9 about Hurricane Joaquin. Today is October 1st. That means some laws passed this past legislative session in Dover will be taking effect today in Delaware. 47 ABC reports that one of the main bills going into effect today is House Bill 140. That bill is aimed at raising money for infrastructure, $24 million a year for critical upgrades that will make Delaware's roads and bridges safer and create about 1,300 new construction jobs in the first state. That new funding will come from increases to several Department of Motor Vehicle fees that have gone largely unchanged since 1990. As for next year's legislative session, 47 ABC spoke with State Senator Bryant Richardson. He says a big focus will be in reducing the rate of recidivism. He also says lawmakers will look at what minor and nonviolent crimes may not require jail time. Attorneys for Wilmington Trust are asking a federal judge to halt an investor lawsuit stemming from the bank's collapse until criminal charges against several former execs are resolved. Wilmington Trust attorneys saying in court papers this week that document production in the lawsuit should be put on hold following the recent indictments of 4 former bank officials, noting their Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination. You can read more about that on our website at Delaware1059.com. Delaware 105.9 News Time is 7:08. Here's Schofield on sports.
3 Henlopen Conference football games have been moved to tonight due to expected heavy rain and poor field conditions tomorrow. Seaford at Indian River, Polytech at Cape, and St. George's at Cesar Rodney will all be played this evening. In Major League Baseball yesterday, the Toronto Blue Jays clinched their first AL East title since 1993 with a 15-2 rout of the Orioles in the first game of a doubleheader. In Game 2, Chris Davis homered twice, pushing his league-leading total to 45 as Baltimore wins 8-1. In Philly, 2 wild pitches by Mets pitching led the Phils to winning back-to-back games against New York at Citizens Bank Park for the first time since 2013. 7-5 was the final. And in Atlanta, the Braves beat the Nationals 2-0 as Jordan Zimmerman gave up 2 runs over 6 innings to fall to 13-10. Schedule changes in Major League Baseball today as well. The Phillies and Mets and Orioles and Blue Jays will start at 12:05 instead of the originally scheduled 7:05. And Week 4 of the NFL season kicks off tonight in Baltimore. The Ravens go for their first win against Pittsburgh. Kickoff is at 8:25. That's Schofield on Sports on Delaware 105.9.
And from the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center, looks like today's going to see a lot of wind and rain, cooler than it has been, a high of 65 degrees as that coastal low comes in. Tonight, heavy rain, possible flooding in low-lying areas, an overnight low of 59. On Friday, windy with heavy rain and flooding again in low-lying areas tomorrow, a high of 63 degrees. It's going to be a messy weekend, folks. 61 this morning in Del Mar, 62 now on the beach in Lewis. I'm Kelly Steele in the Delaware 105.9 newsroom. More of the Dan Gaffney Show coming up on Delaware 105.9.
What is the real reason you do not wear a helmet when you are biking? 839-1059. What is the real reason you don't wear a helmet when riding your bicycle, a scooter, or a motorcycle? What's the real reason? 839-1059. Can we have an honest discussion? Is it vanity? Do you think you look like a nerd? Do you think you look dorky? Is that really it? I mean, I think that might be part of it. If you're to be honest, who wants to admit to their vanity? Might be hard, but why don't you wear a helmet? I have to ask myself this. Why don't I wear a helmet when I ride my bicycle? Well, because I'm afraid I'll look like that dorky picture of President Obama when he's riding his bicycle. Looks like a girl's bike and he's got a helmet on, and they contrast and compare that to, Vladimir Putin, bare-chested on horseback, all muscular. And then they look at Obama with his flood pants on and the bike helmet. He looks like, looks like a kindergartner. So what's up with me? Why don't I wear a helmet when I'm riding my bicycle? I don't know. I don't think I need it. I think it's unnecessary. I look stupid. I don't know. I have no idea. I've got to think about this. Why don't you wear a helmet? If you ride a scooter or a motorcycle or a bicycle even, why don't you wear a helmet? You know that in the event of an accident, your head is less likely to crack open like an egg if you have a helmet on, right? And your brain's not going to smoosh out onto the pavement. Hate to be so gross about it. But seriously, there was another accident. A man is in critical condition. He had an accident. He was on a scooter, Millsboro, Long Neck area. Serious scooter accident. He's on a scooter, and he hit some branches or something on the road and crashed. And now he's in critical condition. He was not wearing a helmet. He's in critical condition. Please pray for Kevin Phillips of Millsboro. He's 35. I don't know him. But if you believe in praying for people in the community, here's a guy who had an accident. He's in critical condition. Pray for him, please. And the doctors, and that all will work out. But it does remind me about helmets because we've had we've had several accidents, motorcycle accidents, a lot of not helmet wearing stuff going on. And during Bike Week a few weeks ago here on the peninsula, where motorcyclists all over the place, incredible numbers don't wear a helmet. I get it. Last Sunday, I went on a bike ride on the Junction, pedal bike ride on the Junction Breakwater Trail with my boys. The Delaware law is that if they're under 18, they have to have a helmet. So as opposed to what they're normally just doing in the backyard with their bikes, we're out on a trail, so we went and got helmets. I took 3 of my boys. We bought 3 helmets. The boys looked at me and they said, "Dad, where's your helmet? Why aren't you wearing a helmet?" And I said to them, probably a pretty bad answer. I said, well, the law says that if you're under 18, you have to have one. Over 18, you don't. What a lame answer. Wasn't that the worst? That's all I knew what to say. I didn't want to tell them I think it's stupid. Because in all reality, I don't want my little boys' heads cracking open if they fall. So I'm glad they're wearing a helmet. But if I fall and hit my head, or somebody runs into me, one of the spandex biker groups hit me and I fell and hit my head on a fence post or something, why don't I want to protect my head? Why do you not wear a helmet? Let's go to Tommy in Dover.
Hey, Dan, how are you this morning?
I'm great. I want to know about people that don't wear helmets.
Well, I ride a motorcycle, and I do not like wearing a helmet. I like the freedom of it, the air blowing through my hair and all that kind of stuff, and probably the way it looks as well. But when I first got my bike, I had a motorcycle accident. And from the condition of my helmet after the accident, I know for a fact, there's no doubt in my mind, that I would not be here today had I not had my helmet on. And I just had it on because that was a new bike, and I wasn't sure how to, control it exactly and all that. So I did have my helmet on, and after that, I will wear it no matter what. They're hot, they're heavy, they make your neck hurt. I have a lot of reasons for not wearing it, but I'm still here, and that's my reason for wearing it every single time I get on my bike.
Well, aren't you lucky that you had that opportunity to learn that way?
Extremely fortunate. Yes, I am extremely fortunate. So I'm just telling people, whatever your reason, at least reconsider your own safety, because your head is not built to battle with the pavement. It'll lose every time.
That's great advice. But again, you articulated some of your personal reasons why you'd rather not wear a helmet. But
absolutely, I hate them. But
listen, all the people you ride with, if some of them don't wear helmets, they know the same intellectually. They know the same thing that you know, but they still don't wear a helmet. Why?
Yep. Those reasons, I suppose. They are uncomfortable.
In other words, do you think some people value their own appearance, their own comfort more than their own life, I guess? Or
it does seem that way. It does seem that way. But, maybe that's nature's way of strengthening the gene pool. I don't know.
Wow. I don't know either. That's why I'm asking. But thank you, Tommy, for your phone call. Why don't you wear a helmet? And I'm talking to bicyclists, scooter riders, maybe even skateboarders and motorcycle people. If you're not a helmet person, it's okay. Why not? 839-1059, 839-1059. Are you afraid? Are you concerned that you don't look as cool? You put the helmet on, people might think you're some kind of dork. I'm just asking. Let's go to the weather forecast after this traffic update. Robin Bryson, first of all. Robin?
Dan, traffic still running pretty well this morning. Again, some light rain falling through parts of the area, so take it easy. Allow some extra travel time as you head out the door. Watch your stopping distances. Light to moderate activity, though, still on 113 through Milford, down through Georgetown or Millsboro, even down through Dagsboro. The 13 corridors, though, in okay, in and out of Seaford or up toward Bridgeville. You'll find Route 404 from Bridgeville to Georgetown doing well this morning. Route 1 along the coast seeing light activity. Kent County, in and out of Dover, a little bit of busy activity as you travel along 13, both northbound and southbound. No major jams, though. You do have that construction that continues on Route 10, Lebanon Road, between the Gateway South Shopping Center and Pine Cabin Road. You get the right lane blocked in both directions, and that'll be there for another month or so. So just use some caution through the construction zone. I'm Robin Bryson with Traffic Watch on Delaware 105.9.
A flood watch in effect beginning this evening. For today, windy and cooler, rain, high 65. Rain tonight, heavy at times, flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas, low 59. For tomorrow, windy and rain. Some of that could be heavy. Again, watch for some flooding and high 63. Tomorrow night, windy, periods of rain, some heavy. Watch for flooding and a low at 59. Hurricane Joaquin may affect the area beginning on Sunday morning. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
And at this hour, a shower in Rehoboth, 64, 64 in Lewis, 63 in Milford, Delaware 105.9.
Vaccines aren't just for kids, and staying healthy at any age isn't kid stuff. The flu vaccine will help prevent the flu. So get vaccinated instead of getting the flu. This year's vaccine helps protect against 4 different strains of the virus. For information or to see if you or your family could qualify for free vaccinations, call 1-800-282-8672. That's 1-800-282-8672.
It's Thursday. Hi, this is Brent from the Cottage Cafe restaurant, and tonight's Thursday, which means our famous Surf or Turf night. And that features Thursday's famous prime rib dinner for only $14.99. Or how about bacon-wrapped barbecue salmon, also only $14.99. If you can't make it tonight, tomorrow is Friday. That means our famous Friday fish fry. Hope to see you today at the Cottage Cafe.
Hello, this is Pastor Nate Graham from Berean Community Church. I want to tell you about a radio program called Taking God at His Word that airs on Sunday mornings from 6:30 to 7:30, right here on Delaware 105.9. Psalm 19:7 tells us the testimony of God makes wise the simple. We need wisdom and conviction in this uncertain age. So that's what you'll get at Taking God at His Word. Clear, rich, and practical exposition of God's Word, verse by verse, book by book. I hope it will be a blessing to your life.
Don't let the ghost of credit past keep you from the car you deserve. Have a job clearing $350 a week? We want to approve your credit today. At Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, take $12,000 off with any trade on select new 2015 Ram trucks in stock. Crew cabs, 4x4s, even the Ram 1500. Take $12,000 off of MSRP. And Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram will take any trade, even if you still owe thousands on it. New 2015 Jeep Renegade Sport, just $249 per month lease. We want to approve your credit today.
And remember, Jim wants to see you in the coolest small town in America, Berlin, Maryland.
Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Old Ocean City Boulevard, Berlin, Maryland.
Qualified buyers. Credit may affect terms. Balance of trade carried over to new loan. Discount based on MSRP of $47,835 with $4,500 factory rebates to dealer and $7,500 dealer discount. Model number DS6H98. Offers not in combination.
Waterproofing your deck can be a hassle each season, so stop working and start entertaining with Duradeck, installed by Delmarva Roofing and Coating, the area's preferred installer. Duradeck is the ultimate maintenance-free outdoor deck flooring backed by an industry-leading 10-year warranty. Duradeck is ideal for roof decks, sun decks, balconies, and more. It provides permanent, waterproof protection designed for strength, stability, and slip resistance. Made in America, Duradeck is Delmarva's choice for outdoor deck flooring. Duradeck from Delmarva Roofing and Coating. Find out more at delmarvaroofing.com.
Hey, Sumo here. I'm back broadcasting live from the Cottage Cafe in Bethany Beach. Hoping you'll come out today and join me. I'll be there starting at 10. Come on out for the great lunch specials and be part of the show. That's at the Cottage Cafe on Route 1 South in Bethany Beach.
Why don't you wear a helmet when you ride your motorcycle? What reasons do you have? Why don't you wear a helmet on your scooter? Why don't you wear a helmet on your bicycle? Another accident. Guy fell off a scooter, critical condition, not wearing a helmet, long neck area, tragic. We've had a lot of these. Okay, I'm not using this guy as a specific example, really, but we've had a lot of them. And why don't you wear a helmet? Ben in Milford, you're on Delaware 105.9. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. I'm the manager at Pedalworks Cyclery in Delmar, and an interesting thing that I think about helmet usage is that in the areas of the world where bicycling is most popular, most people don't wear helmets, and it is safest to bicycle in those cities. And the argument for that's been that more people, if they don't wear their helmet, more people will ride their bicycle. If they're required to wear a helmet, it will kind of stifle the growth of the activity. And then if the population of cyclists stays small, then the infrastructure and the awareness will never be built, turning it into a safe area to bicycle.
How about that? So you're saying it's just another impediment to actually hopping on a bike and getting moving is the helmet requirement.
I think so. Definitely what I see is when people are most likely to pick up bicycling as a hobby or an activity when it's really easy to do it, when there's not a lot to think about, there's no special clothes, when they can just hop on and go. And I think that helmets do make a lot of sense from an individual perspective. I mean, if you hit the pavement without a helmet, you're going to be a lot worse off than if you wore one. But yeah, I think people really do gravitate and flock to it in large numbers when it's something that can just integrate seamlessly into the life they're already living.
So, what's the name of your business?
It's Pedalworks Cyclery in Delmar.
Pedalworks Cyclery. Where are you located?
It's northbound 13, just behind the Wawa.
Cool. Hey, Ben, thanks for listening to the show, okay?
Thank you, Dan. Have a good one.
You too. Here's Butch Emmert. Emmert Auction Associates has this big multi-estate auction on Sunday. Rain or shine, right, Butch?
That's right, Dan, at the Rehoboth Beach Convention Center. You know, we're there 13 or 14 times a year. Now they're getting ready to completely remodel the City Hall and center there, and it looks like we'll be moving to the Fire Hall for about a year.
Okay, all right.
We will still be there, 13, 14 times a year on Rehoboth Avenue.
Hey, Butch,
now,
I have this flyer of all, you've got so many things. Can I ask you about a few of these
Sure.
as you get going here? First of all, you have a 3-digit tag.
Yeah, we have Delaware 147. It's rare to get a 3-digit tag anymore, but to get one with a 1 series is really, really rare. They are very hard to come by, and we think it's a great tag and going to be a great buy.
All right, looks like a cool Jeep.
Yeah, we have a Jeep from Henlopen Acres, always been kept inside. I think it has about 90,000 miles on it. Looks like it has about 20. I mean, it is really a beautiful Wrangler Sahara, and we have all the service records, et cetera. And as I said, it was garage kept. We have a big gun collection. We have over 30 pieces of original art by such artists as Jack Lewis, Howard Schroeder, Edmund Darch Lewis, Frank Schoonover, Eugenia Eckford Rhodes, Marjorie Pyle, Theodora Kane. It goes on and on.
Hey, what is the two art questions, if you don't mind? What is the what's the deal with the Jack? You mentioned Jack Lewis. What is the deal with that?
That is a Jack Lewis. Very, very large, almost a mural, Jack Lewis. It's of a New England farmer's market. And late in life, Jack Lewis spent most of his time at his home in Maine. And this was actually done about 5 or 6 years before his death. He lived to be 99. And it's 3 feet by 8 feet.
Wow.
So fabulous for a big house or a restaurant or, it's a Jack Lewis. Small Jack Lewis's bring $2,000 and $3,000, so, or $5,000. So, this should be a very, very nice piece. And we have great stuff by James Doney. We have sterling silver and furniture and corner cupboards and clocks and anything that could be in a big, great house is there 4 times over.
I like that corner hutch. It was a pretty good-looking thing.
Yeah, pine corner cupboard. Beautiful, beautiful pine corner cupboard. There's just a lot there. We're going to have 2 auctioneers all day. We'll be selling the cars and tags at 3 o'clock. So don't miss it, folks. You can get online at EmmertAuction.com or AuctionZip.com, and you can see over 40 full-color photographs and lists of items to be sold.
Thank you, Butch Emmert. EmmertAuction.com. That's Sunday. Starts at 9:30 inside the convention hall. You don't want to miss these sales. Why don't you wear a helmet when you ride your bicycle? Why don't you wear a helmet on your scooter? Why don't you wear a helmet on your motorcycle? A lot of people don't wear helmets. Why? Skippy is here from Roxana. Hello, Skippy.
Hi there.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. I am a retired ER nurse, and I just want to say that I have never seen anyone come in from a motorcycle accident, biking accident, scooter accident, skateboard accident without a helmet, without an injury. I think it's a no-brainer. Our heads are not made to withstand concrete or asphalt. So I think the person that is getting on the motorcycle or bike with wheels without a helmet is a true idiot. I mean, you can look at the statistics, you can look at the data from recent years. It's just, you need to wear a helmet. You're out there in the open, and like I said, our head is made for things like wearing a hat. Not
Look, yeah, I get it. Look, I am with you 100%. However, I think the people who are not wearing a helmet, I think the people who are not wearing a helmet also know what you're saying.
Right. But the thing is, they don't realize being uncomfortable, being hot, it hurts my neck. I don't look cute. Well, let me tell you, if you sustain an accident and have a head injury, you're not going to be cute anymore. You're not going to know your family members. You're not going to know who you are. You're not going to be able to wipe your own butt because you have a head trauma.
I got it, Skippy. Thanks. Good call. Let's go to the news center. Here is Kelly Steele with an update brought to you by Halpern Eye. Good morning, Kelly.
Thank you very much, Dan. Hurricane Joaquin expected to strengthen in the Atlantic as it heads toward the central Bahamas at this hour. At last check, the latest update at 5 o'clock this morning, National Hurricane Center in Miami had said the Category 3 storm was centered about 65 miles east-southeast of San Salvador. Winds have already been clocked at 120 miles per hour. Forecasters say hurricane conditions are expected to reach portions of the central Bahamas in the next few hours. We'll keep you posted. That storm is then expected to head toward the east coast of the United States. Your forecast today going to be windy and cooler with rain, a high of 65 degrees. CBS News covers the nation and the world next. News time is 7:31. Good morning.
CBS News update. In the central Bahamas, the winds from Hurricane Joaquin blow. Forecasters worry that this storm will bring lots of rain, maybe 15 inches of it to some areas. On Eleuthera Island, people remove stray coconuts so they won't become projectiles. Weather forecaster Lonnie Quinn on CBS This Morning.
These are the numbers to go along with it. 120 mile per hour winds, a Cat 3 forecast to become a Cat 4 as it makes that all-important turn to the north.
And then where will Joaquin go?
Is it a landfall? Is it not a landfall? Both are possibilities today. It could be a landfall anywhere from North Carolina to Massachusetts. But there's also a possibility, at least, that it could stay out to sea. It's not a great possibility, but it's out there.
Virginia is already under a state of emergency. How about this guy on New York's Long Island? Is he ready?
Any preparations we'll make will be full tank of gas in the car and a place in a warm bed to stay, that's for sure.
CBS News Update, I'm Dave Barrett.
Halpern Eye Care is focused on exceptional patient care with locations throughout Delaware, including the newest in Georgetown. Halpern Eye Care specializes in comprehensive eye exams, medical and pediatric eye care, contact lenses, and they're the leader in designer eyewear with brands like Crocs, Nike, Guess, Converse, and many more. Halpern Eye Care performs the highest quality, most technologically advanced eye exams and ensures that personal attention is given to each patient. Get your children ready for back to school at Halpern Eye Care. Get a complete pair of glasses for only $69, 2 for $89, or free lenses when you buy any designer brand package. Don't neglect the health of your child's eyes as they start school this year. Schedule your children's back-to-school eye exam today by calling 1-800-734-2010 or go online, halperneye.com. See office for complete details. May not be combined with any other discounts or insurance and must be 21 years of age or younger. Expires 10/31/15.
When you back up, call Central Backhoe. That's Central Backhoe Services. Toilet won't flush, you need to call us at Central Backhoe Services. We'll pump your septic, repair and install. When something doesn't smell right, you know who to call. Get a good flow from Central Backhoe. That's Central Backhoe Services. When it's a no-go, call Central Backhoe. Central Backhoe Services.
It could be a simple septic repair, or maybe something a little more complex. No matter what your situation is, Central Backhoe Services, your full-service, licensed, experienced wastewater system professional, can help. Contact them at 398-6420 or visit their website at centralseptic.com. Central Backhoe Services, locally owned and operated, serving Delaware's septic and excavation needs for over 20 years.
When it's a no-go, call Central Backhoe. Central Backhoe Services.
So, you want copies and printing done fast, friendly, and affordable? Then head to Print Promo Coast to Coast at 1636 Savannah Road, Lewis, near Route 1 at 5 Points. We're locally owned and operated and can turn your job around even while you wait. And yes, we even print envelopes. Print Promo Coast to Coast, 1636 Savannah Road, Lewis, or you can call us at 644-9570. It's time to think outside of the box store and shop local.
When you're running your own business, you're bound to be busy. Too busy. Too busy worrying about your budget. Too busy scheduling appointments. Too busy to build a website for your business. And because you're too busy, it has to be easy. And that's where Wix.com comes in. With Wix.com, it's easy for you to create your stunning website. Go to Wix.com and create your website today. It's easy and free. That's Wix.com.
Flu season starts with all kinds of symptoms, and Walmart can help you be prepared before they show up with low prices on all the medicines and supplies your family needs. So don't wait until the symptoms have already started. Stock up now at Walmart.
Remember Jared Morris today at 3 on Delaware 105.9.
Here's Jim Weller, Weller's Utility Trailers, on the live sponsor hotline, 735. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Dan. It's going to be a busy day at Weller's. Yesterday we sold a lot of generators, and I forgot to mention we also sell gasoline-operated water pumps. One of them is called a trash pump. It has a big 2-inch hose. It'll pump 100 some gallons a minute, and people buy these in case their electric goes out and they need to pump their basement or something like that because they don't want it to, flood any worse than it should. So we have these gasoline-operated water pumps. We also have another one with a 1-inch hose, which is really nice because the discharge side will hook to a water hose so you can get the water way far away from your house. It's less than $100. I don't remember how much it is, but we sold a lot of generators yesterday. Want to remind people the time to buy a generator is before you need it. So please keep that in mind. Weller's is open today from 9 to 5. Phone numbers 337-8228, Wellers.com on the web. And while you're on the web, check out my instant coupon savings. This is a really interesting ad that I created. There's some stuff in there that I'm losing big money on just to get rid of it. And that is my intention between now and the end of the year, is not to lose money, but to get rid of as much merchandise as we can. So we are cutting a lot of stuff loose, stuff that we have hundreds, if not thousands of, and we are just trying to dump some inventory. So who are we? It's Weller's Utility Trailers, right on Route 13 in Bridgeville. There's hundreds of trailers all over the place, sheds, carports, and swing sets too. Phone number again, 337-8228, Wellers.com on the web. Call us, come see us, tell a friend about us, or just send somebody with cash, and we will pick your purchases for you, okay? That's another service we do. Other than that, I'm inviting everybody out to Jimmy's Grill tomorrow morning, Dan Gaffney Live. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of people stop by. The food is great. The information is priceless, and the fellowship is wonderful. So anytime, 5:30 to 10, join us tomorrow morning at Jimmy's Grill. It's going to be a hoot.
Thank
Other
you.
than that,
all right.
I'm leaving you. See ya.
Have a good one, Jim Weller. Question: why don't you wear a helmet? We've been taking calls. 839-1059. I'm talking about when you're riding your bicycle. Oh, it's just a bicycle. Do you need a helmet? Or are you afraid it's going to make you look dorky, like that picture of President Obama riding his bicycle with the helmet everybody makes fun of? Why not? Do you think you look like a nerd? People won't think you're cool? Why do you not wear a helmet? What is your reason? If you're a motorcyclist, why don't you wear a helmet? Because I know, your head's going to be protected if you have a crash. I know you know that. You know what that nurse just said from Roxana. Skippy from Roxana just called us. You know what she said. She said, you're really going to look bad when you can't, in her words, wipe your own butt. That's what the ER nurse said. Why don't you wear a helmet when you're riding your scooter? Man Longneck yesterday ran over some branches on a scooter. He's in critical condition. He was not wearing a helmet. That's a shame. But I got to be honest. I went on a bicycle ride. Is it any different? I didn't wear a helmet over the weekend. I made my kids put on a helmet because it's Delaware law. But they asked me, Dad, why aren't you wearing your helmet? I didn't know what to say to them. So I fell back on the law. Lame answer. Well, it's the law that you have to, but I don't. Bad example, Dad. But I didn't know what to say to them. Why didn't I? I had to think about it. Why didn't I wear a helmet? I thought I was on a trail. I couldn't get hurt. I'm not on the road. No cars are going to hit me. So I thought the risk was low. Let me take a call from Rick in Lewis and see what his answer is. Then we're going to tell you about an event that you're going to want to know about, the 6th Annual Wine and Beer Fest. And this is a big one with big things happening, and Lorraine is in our studio. She's going to talk about it in a minute. But first, Rick in Lewis, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dan. How are you?
I'm fine.
That's good. Yeah, you had the ER nurse. Well, I'm the patient, so I can't stress enough for people to wear their helmet when they're riding their bike. Of course, you know my story. I've told people over and over. And New Year's Day of 2014, my daughter and I took the Christmas lights down, and it was a fairly nice day, and it was cool enough that I had to have my helmet on because I was going to ride over to my father's off of 24. And he never liked me being on 24, so he's like, well, put it on the bike rack. Well, no. So I had my Nike hat on, and it's the only time I didn't wear my helmet. And my daughter and my wife were like, wear your helmet. And I said, no, I'll be all right, thinking it was just a 7-mile ride. And a woman hit me, and, of course, I'm still trying to recover. And they had to fly me to Christiana. I almost died. I had brain trauma, broke my back, leg, arm. I just had some more nerve surgery in my arm.
But
so,
the brain damage was very serious, wasn't it?
Oh yes, they had. My sister had told me, I guess they had me in the coma for like 3 days, and maybe a little smarter, maybe a little bit crazier than what I already was. But I can't stress enough. Just like I said, that was the only time I had a $3,000 bicycle, and the only, like I say, it was just a little cold that my helmet wouldn't fit on with my hat, and.
So it was like a comfort / vanity thing that day, right? Like you wanted to wear your Nike hat, you felt you were okay. The two of them together didn't quite work, so you just said, forget the helmet.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't about anything. It just it was a fit thing. I had one of those tight hats, they go over your head there, and just the helmet didn't fit correctly, so I was just thinking, well, I'm just going to ride over there. It'll be all right. And, I can't stress enough, you just wear the helmet, take the extra time, and, because I've told many people I've seen riding without helmets, and, you tell them a story and stuff, and I guess you can tell till you're blue in the face what actually happens to you. Actually, we were on Route 1 yesterday. My wife was driving, and I'd seen a kid riding on Route 1, no helmet, and texting. That's even worse. But
look, just yesterday, I was with my daughter on Highway 1. We were headed to the outlets, so we're around Route 24, going to the outlets. It's raining. I look going northbound. There's a girl on her bicycle riding in the rain, no helmet, on Route 1, bike lane, going right up the road. I didn't think she was going to crash, but I didn't know what some crazy person in a car might do, and so...
That's the thing, yeah. That's like I say, it wasn't even my fault. We've all been for court and all that with that stuff, so I'm not going to get into all that. But, you never know what'll happen just with the traffic and everything, and... and I suggest, a lot of times in the summertime you'll see them without the lights on the bike, and or wear a vest, with the reflective one. I just can't stress enough.
I got it. You're living proof. Thank you so much. That is kind of amazing, Rick. Thank you that we heard from the nurse and then the patient. Right? We remember Rick's story. We talked about him, and I remember him as a regular caller, knew his name, had to report on New Year's Day in 2014 and the day after about an accident involving him, and I knew the name right away. I said, that's one of our listeners. In the news, it said he was taken to Christiana in bad condition, and it's good to hear him again today. Glad he lived through it. Let's talk about something else. There's an event coming up, Beer and Wine Fest. Lorraine, good morning.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
I'm fine. Lorraine, tell everyone your title. What do you do?
I'm the Director of Special Events and PR for Kent County Tourism in Dover, Delaware.
And so you want all of the state to go to Dover on October 17th. Tell me about the event.
Yes, it's the 6th annual Delaware Wine and Beer Festival. It's at the Delaware Agricultural Museum and Village in their historic village, which is a beautiful setting. And it's all of the wineries, breweries, distilleries, meaderies, and cidery. We have a cidery.
A cidery?
I know, isn't
like
that...
Like hard cider?
Yeah. Right, and we get to try it for the first time at the festival.
Is that what it's called, a cidery?
Yeah, and I had to figure out how to spell it, too, just to make sure.
Right. It's not a.
I know.
It's not a word we hear every day.
I know. It's the first one in Delaware. It's called Rebel Seed, and it's out of Marydale. And
Rebel Seed.
Yeah. So they're like having this big happy hour unveiling the Thursday before the Wine and Beer Festival. But the first time you can actually the public can sample it will be Saturday at the Wine and Beer Festival.
Okay, it sounds like a big deal. A lot of people there.
It is. A lot of people. The new this year is unlimited sampling. So that's kind of cool with your ticket price. You can try everything.
Unlimited sampling?
Yes, I know. I think my director's
how did it work
really
before?
Well, you would pay. You buy your ticket. You get your festival wristband. You come in, and you got 10 free sampling tickets, and then you could go on to buy full pours. If you liked it.
But now it's unlimited sampling.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So, and we have like 21 of these craft spirits there. So it'll be exciting for sure.
It will. The crowd seems like they're going to get excited. How many people?
Last year we had close to 3,000 people.
3,000?
Yeah, and that was with a lot of inclement weather, like looks like we're going to have this weekend. It was that kind of weekend, and I was sure that would affect the number of people. But they come dressed for it. You can bring your chairs.
Right. It's not going to stop the beer samplers.
Right, and a lot of good food this year, and it keeps getting better. We have beer Olympic games. And it's all like on 10 acres of land, right off Silver Lake. It's beautiful.
How much is the ticket?
$35 and $40 at the door.
Okay.
Day of. So I mean, it's very awesome, and you could do a lot of shopping there too. We got a lot of artisans.
If you went out and went somewhere and had a couple of drinks and some food, that's how much you're going to spend. So you go here and.
Yeah, and then you get to try things, and then you find new places you can go to, or do samplings. It's great.
See if you like the cider
and
from
mead.
The cider, whatever.
And we have mead too, out of honey.
Mead, right?
Yeah,
I've heard there's somebody doing that now.
Yeah, we have 2 meaderies in Delaware.
Meadery.
Harvest Ridge does mead, and I don't know if you ever had. I love it. It's made out of honey. I know meaderies, and it's like goes back to the Middle Ages, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, it's all happening October 17th. What time of day?
12 to 5. Perfect timing. Middle of the afternoon. Nice autumn thing to do in a beautiful setting.
October 17th. Get tickets now, $35 each.
Right, at our website.
What's the website?
DelawareWineandBeerFestival.com.
DelawareWineandBeerFestival.com. Correct. I hope people do it. That's it.
I know. I hope so too.
Good job, Kent County.
Thank you, Dan.
Kent County's busy this weekend. Race weekend's going to rain it out.
I know.
What do you think's going to happen? It's going to rain out.
I don't know. I have tickets. I mean, over the years, I've volunteered there myself. I've worked, and I haven't been in about 8 years. The first time I'm going on Sunday with my cousin. He wants to drive over. I'm like, we'll just keep you posted. But weather, I don't know if I want to get soaked.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Lorraine.
Goodbye.
All right, October 17th, 6th Annual Wine and Beer Fest. Go to the website, get tickets. I don't know what else I could tell you, except that sounds like it's up a lot of your alley. I'm sure you'll like it. Now, Traffic Watch. Robin Bryson is with us at 7:48.
Dan, traffic's been running pretty well around the area this morning. Again, some light rain falling through a good portion of both Kent and Sussex counties, so allow some extra travel time heading out the door. And watch your stopping distances as you travel around the area. Major routes have been running pretty well, though. In and out of Dover. No major problems along 13 northbound and southbound. Route 1's in pretty good shape passing the Dover Toll Plaza. Route 1 in Sussex County is doing very well around 5 points and down past Route 24. You run well across the Indian River Inlet Bridge, both north and southbound. If you are traveling the 113 corridor, you'll see a little bit of busy activity out of Selbyville through Dagsboro and Millsboro, right up into Georgetown and each of towns to get a little bit of sluggish activity. I'm Robin Bryson with Traffic Watch on Delaware 105.9. County's doing very well.
A flood watch in effect beginning this evening. For today, windy and cooler, rain, high 65. Rain tonight, heavy at times, flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas, low 59. For tomorrow, windy and rain. Some of that could be heavy. Again, watch for some flooding and high 63. Tomorrow night, windy, periods of rain, some heavy. Watch for flooding and a low at 59. Hurricane Joaquin may affect the area beginning on Sunday morning. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
All right, 7:50, Delaware Delaware 105.9, Dan Gaffney program, and overcast, rain, drizzle in the area. All right, 64 Rehoboth, 64 in Lewis, and some rain in the area. Good morning. This is Delaware 105.9.
Windows 10? Does this mean I have to buy something else? Did you know Windows 10 is free for the next year if you have a Windows 7 or 8 computer? Microsoft has big plans for Windows 10 and would like to have everyone on the same operating system, so it's willing to give it to you for free. Windows 10 is easy and fast with the best features from Windows 7 and 8. Is it right for you? Call the experts at Response Computer Group. Response Computer Group is your local source for PC tune-ups, virus removal, and computer and laptop repairs.
Hi, I'm Randy Ennis, owner of Response Computer Group. When you've done everything you've thought of to fix your computer and it's still not working right, it's time to bring it to a company that has the experience to make it work right. We're located in Milford off Airport Road in the Independence Common Business Park. Just turn left before you reach the Boys and Girls Club. Response Computer Group has been serving businesses and consumers in the Delaware community since 1983. Give us a call at 335-3400 or visit us online at rcgweb.com.
Don't let the ghost of credit past keep you from the car you deserve. Have a job clearing $350 per week? We want to approve your credit today. At Berlin Chevy, take $12,000 off with any trade on select new 2015 Chevy Silverados in stock. Colorado, Tahoe, Suburban, Impalas, Malibus, and Cruises, even the 2015 Silverado 2500 HD. Take $12,000 off. Have a job clearing $350 per week? Berlin Chevy wants to approve you for the credit you deserve. 2015 Chevy Cruze, just $167 per month lease. Plus, we'll take any trade, even if you still owe thousands on it.
And remember, Jim wants to see you in the coolest small town in America, Berlin, Maryland.
Berlin Chevy. Find new roads on Old Ocean City Boulevard, Berlin, Maryland.
Qualified buyers. Credit may affect terms. Balance of trade carried over to new loan. Discount based on MSRP of $58,650 with $8,798 factory rebates to dealer and $3,202 dealer discount. Stock number 3725.
Hi, this is Ken Adams with Stokely Materials. With our two Sussex County locations, we have you, the homeowner, covered when it comes to all of your landscape supply needs. Whether it be any of our natural or colored mulches, our wide variety of decorative stones and soils, or our selection of Cambridge and New Line pavers. And of course, don't forget we are your authorized yard waste drop-off sites. Stop by our Georgetown location on Route 113 across from Melvin Joseph Construction, our Lewis location just off Route 9 on Nassau Commons Boulevard. See all of our products on the web at StokelyMaterials.com or call us at 856-7601.
Spicer Brothers Construction is proud to continue our commitment to the Delmarva community by having our 4th annual Delmarva's Neediest Roof Giveaway. Spicer Brothers wants to help someone who is in dire need of a new roof and has fallen on hard times. Now we're down to 3 finalists and we need your help, Delmarva, to vote for a winner. Go to SpicerBros.com now and click on the Delmarva's Neediest Roof banner to cast your vote. Voting ends November 27th. Someone is going to win a free roof, and it's up to you, Delmarva. For more information, visit SpicerBros.com.
Hey, Sumo here. I'm back broadcasting live from the Cottage Cafe in Bethany Beach. Hoping you'll come out today and join me. I'll be there starting at 10. Come on out for the great lunch specials and be part of the show. That's at the Cottage Cafe on Route 1 South in Bethany Beach.
Why don't you wear a helmet? You're a motorcycle rider and you don't wear a helmet. Just want to know your reasons. If you have a scooter and you zip around Rehoboth or whatever, and you don't wear a helmet, why not? Bicycles. How about bicycle on the road? You're not wearing a helmet. Why aren't you wearing a helmet? Why? What's your personal reason? Okay. I was just looking at another story yesterday. A man in the Long Neck area hit some branches. He was on a scooter. He fell off the thing. No helmet and critical condition. He's not the only one. I mean, there's been a whole string of motorcycle accidents and other accidents. People get really seriously injured. No helmet. It's head injury stuff. It's nasty. You know your head's not going to win. I think intellectually we all get that. What's the reason we take the risk? What's your reason? All right. Let's go to Ron Farrell. Farrell's Cooling and Heating. Ron, with the weather forecast being what it is, I know you've been talking about flooding, and we're reminded of the time ductwork flooded underneath houses during Sandy and other storms, right?
Yeah, that's right, Dan. And there is a system called the ductless system. They're really nice. Nothing's under your house. There's no ductwork. They're They're more efficient than a geotherm, and a lot less money. And it's really nice because you can just have each room as a different temperature. But anyone that's interested in the ductless system can call Farrell's. And also, you've been talking about safety. One of the best things I think we do on a checkup, besides changing the filters and everything, is we look at about 4 or 5 things that are real safety issues on heaters: the chimney, the gas lines. And it's really important to look at your heating system, and that's one of the things Farrell's does on our checkups that we do twice a year for all of our customers. Mm-hmm. And if anyone is interested in getting their system under contract with Farrell's, if you mention 105.9, you'll get 10% off. And if anyone in your home is 62 or over, you get another 10% off. That's Farrell's Cooling and Heating, 302-436-2922.
There you go. Farrell's Cooling and Heating. You're right, Ron. It's good stuff, good information. Great to have you on the air, Delaware 105.9. I'd like to hear you answer the question, too. If you are an occasional bike rider and you don't wear a helmet, why not? Think about it for a second. I'm telling you to answer, and I can't even answer myself, because I told you on Sunday I went on a bike ride. I did not wear my helmet. I've never worn a bike helmet, really. Bicycle. Grew up, didn't have to. Never did. I make my kids wear them. I don't wear it. I make my kids wear it. And so when they ask me, hey, Dad, why aren't you wearing your helmet? I just gave them the legal answer. Well, you have to because you're under 18. It's Delaware law. Meanwhile, I'm sure, they're not dumb. I'm sure they're thinking, my kids are probably thinking, well, what a dumb law. Why isn't it a law for him? Does that mean when I'm 18, I can take my helmet off? Whatever. I don't know, really what to say. And I guess if I was going to be totally honest, I would say, is it a vanity thing? Do I think the helmet looks dumb? The bike helmets. Ugh. Styrofoam, sits up on top of your head like a trucker ball cap, sticks up. Kind of a dumb thing, really. It's not a style of a hat that I would ever wear, But, so I don't know. But do I want to say to my kids, it's because of I'm so vain? I don't want to say that either. Here is Jack in Seaford. Hello, Jack.
Good morning, Dan.
Hi.
Hey, I tell you, I was one of those folks. I always wore my baseball cap when I rode a bike, and so I thought these helmets looked goofy. But a friend of ours was riding a bike up in New Jersey and went over the handlebars and actually cracked his vertebrae or something, and he died. And I thought, this being vain thing with one of these goofy helmets, I went out and bought helmets for my wife and myself. It's just not worth the risk.
And he probably thought, what, I'm on a bicycle, I'll be fine.
Right. Right. And I had another good friend in Seaford that went over the handlebars, had his helmet on, cracked his helmet all to pieces, but he's fine.
Saved his head. Right. Well, thank you very much. I'm out of time, but I get it. Good point.
Local news first on Delaware 105.
It took a personal relationship experience for you to realize. I get it. Good call.
Delaware 105.9 News Time 7:59. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kelly Steele from the Weather Center. Windy and cooler today with lots of rain, a high of 65 degrees. Recent downpours forcing people from their homes and closing schools all up and down the East Coast. Forecasters are calling for several more inches of rain in the coming days, regardless of what happens with Hurricane Joaquin, which is still spinning off the coast. The U.S. National Hurricane Center in Miami says depending on its path, Joaquin could intensify the storm's damage. New York York Governor Andrew Cuomo was among the officials already urging residents to take precautions, saying our state has seen the damage that extreme weather can cause time and time again, and Virginia's governor has already declared a state of emergency. Officials here on Delmarva keeping a very close eye on the storm, which has its sights set on the Bahamas this morning. Coming up after CBS, we hear again from Delaware 105.9's John Butler. He's at the Indian River Inlet this morning. From the first town in the first state, this is WXDE Lewis.
CBS News, I'm Frank Sedapani. Russian warplanes have been busy in the skies over western Syria for a second day. CBS's Cammie McCormick has the latest from Washington.